If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. And tonight we're here to talk about episode 5, so hopefully you've had a chance to watch it. If you haven't, yeah, don't continue watching this. Although for the first just little bit here, let me go find what that is, the no book spoilers. That's right. So for the first bit here, we're going to do no book spoilers. For those of you in chat here with us on YouTube, please don't leave spoilers for now of the books themselves, talk about the show, and so we can kind of welcome in some new viewers and that may not be readers, like you.
Yeah.
I'm calling you like a never reader now.
A never reader.
Yeah. I mean, because you haven't, and I don't think you plan on reading the books, right? I don't think you're planning on it. Yeah.
No.
Okay. So, but keep that in mind here just for the next 20, 25 minutes. Then we're going to have some other guests join us. We're going to go full book spoiler at that point. But look, I asked this poll right before we began. For those of you that are, again, here on YouTube with us, almost 500, almost 600 of you have voted for this. Initial reactions to episode 5. So I asked, loved it, liked it, meh.
I thought you were asking me.
I mean, I am asking you, what's your initial reaction to 5? You have to talk loud.
Best episode.
Wow,
so
you're
far.
a best episode.
Yeah.
I'm not a best episode, but I'm impressed.
Which one do you think beats that?
3.
Oh my
Episode
Lord.
3
oh
is.
my Lord.
I
can't even.
I saw this question. No, I went 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. That's kind of where.
3, 4, 5. You put 5 third?
3, 4, 5, 2, 1. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Your.
I want to see it in chat. Where are you guys at on this? You know, what's been your favorite, down to like your least favorite, I guess, of all the episodes. But yeah, this is your favorite.
Your 3 is like a drop to my raging sun of a 5. That's what mine is.
Nice raging sun drop there.
Oh, I
okay.
just drank your water. Oh
man,
terrible.
that's ridiculous, man.
Put it over
what
there.
What are you doing?
I don't know. They're the same cup.
Okay, that's true. So tell me, you said this was your favorite. Why is this your favorite?
It feels so much like a world now.
Okay.
Now they've had the amount of time. Right now we have 5 hours in the world, or in the in the wheel. So like it already feels more like gripping.
You feel like you actually believe you're in it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I think it helps having like everyone slowly coming towards the whatever it's called.
Tar Valon.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Listen, I don't
towards
know.
the thing, the
Towards
building.
the
yeah,
big
yeah.
white place. mine?
I'm seeing a lot of people in chat. I'm seeing like a 43251. I like 8675309. Nice one, Wild Gardenia. 54321. Yeah, that's 45321s. I'm seeing some 5s up front, some 5s in the middle, some 5s at the end. This one seems split. So far, those of you that have voted here, over 6 of you have voted for this, loved it, 55%, liked it, 34%, and 10% of you were like, meh. And that kind of seems to kind of play out in what I'm seeing here as far as the ratings. I like what you're saying, the idea of people are coming together, you're getting the world built. So what is your favorite moment then of episode 5?
I have notes. 1 second.
You brought notes. Okay, hopefully you all brought notes. I'm kind of curious. What was your favorite moment? Whether or not, wherever this is on the chart of your episodes, what was your favorite moment? And I'm seeing some references to hashtag puking fractal evil. If you don't know what hashtag puking fractal evil means, just go back and watch our episode last night, which is a pre-show for this. It was awesome. And some people are calling out that the episode coming up is one of the ones that Brandon, I think, has talked about really loving, episode 6. Someone, I think I saw somebody in chat here to say they didn't like the funeral at the end, so 5 isn't one of their favorites. This one, for me, I loved, again, I love how much or how many of the kind of story points that I would expect to see as a book reader are in here. But we won't talk about that just yet. What were your favorite spots?
First, like my favorite part of the episode was the cold open.
Oh, the cold open.
Which is funny.
Okay.
Because it's very cold.
Yeah.
The coldest open.
The pun there, nice. What did you like about that?
Well, it was a cool, what's it called? Call forward, not call back. But like to mirror putting, what's her name?
Karenna?
Karenna.
Yeah.
To rest, and then everywhere around them is covered in white, like in white snow, and then to that have that callback from the end, when they're all wearing white, and it's Steppin. It's it was just a really cool.
Yeah, you like the you like this kind of circular nature of that.
Yeah, like kind of like a wheel.
You like the wheel aspect of it. Nice.
It's also shot so well. It just was such a beautiful cold open. Where I think like when Nynaeve's getting pulled by the Trolloc in I don't remember which episode's cold open that was.
Yeah.
Like that was such like a raw cold open.
Yeah.
This one just like was so moving. So
by the way, I'm going to ask this question in chat. You're not allowed to answer 1 on this question. I'm going to talk about cold open here. Cold open. 1 is not my favorite, so you don't get to
just don't put it in.
Honestly, it's only because we have 4 options.
Or yeah, there you go.
It's only we have 4 options here. So favorite cold open so far, 5, 4, 3, or 2. Sorry, if it's 1, you can mention it in chat. If that makes you feel better. If that makes you feel better. Yeah, so the cold open, I really loved that shot that you're talking about. This moment, what a way to begin this. And if you go watch they do a kind of behind the scenes look, first look inside. If you go on to Amazon Prime Video, they talk about this episode. And Rafe and I think Daniel Henney both talk about this moment. And Daniel, he was talking about all the cinematography they did for this, one of his favorite ever on like moments as an actor. So yeah, this one was cool for sure. I mean, what it's coming out, favorite cold open is 4 so far. 4.
You're
I love
wrong.
it. Okay, so you like the circular nature of the funeral side of things. You like the cold open aspect
And the final
of this one.
shot of it too, as it like raises up over all of them.
Oh yeah,
like the burial.
I don't think I have that shot, but yeah, I think a lot of us have seen that. It was in one of the teasers.
Yeah.
So
that was I loved that.
Okay, but it's your favorite episode. What else are we talking here?
It felt more personal than the other ones.
Okay.
I don't know, like I haven't really felt that way with Matt and Rand yet.
Okay.
Like, even though they should be like the like best friends.
Yeah.
Like when Lan and Steppin are like having their sleepover, like hangout.
Right.
Like that's such like a fun.
Yeah.
Like it felt so like we were just there with them.
Right.
Like, it was such a personal moment, and I feel like they haven't really had that yet.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. This one did feel, and people are saying this like this one went too slow for people. People have been mentioning this episodes of moving too fast, and then I saw some people say this one kind of moved too slow. They had too much of Steppin. I actually did like the idea of the politics and getting into
Too
the
much
White
of
Tower.
Steppin, that doesn't make any sense. The
Yeah.
the whole point is building up the water bond and connection to the Aes Sedai. What do you that's the whole point.
Look, you're talking about you're talking to book readers too here, and so they're like,
Well, I'm just
they're like,
telling
come
you,
on,
like-
give me some more of the things that I
You
like
gotta set
about
some
the books.
things up.
Yeah. TTT, this is Taylor, by the way. If you don't know, Taylor's my son also, who happens to be a never reader, but new viewer, and runs...
Never knew.
Every time you say it, I'm just like, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's... Justin Baker here just said way too much Steppin in funerals. Again, it's clear. Well, I won't like kind of break into book speak here. So I like they did slow it down a little bit here from a pacing perspective in my mind, and gave us a lot of what's happening in the White Tower, and focused on warders a lot more than I would say. Honestly, for those of you who never read the books, this won't ruin anything for you, but more than the books do when it comes to warders and their relationships. So I thought that was pretty cool. So we no one's really agreeing with you here, Taylor.
I mean,
The poll
that's
ended
okay.
here. Favorite cold open was 4, and then you're looking at 3, 2, and and then 5. I'm trying to remember my favorite cold open. Ooh, it has to still be 3 for me.
What happened in 2?
2's cold open. Remind us out there. Now I'm struggling to remember all the cold opens. That's a good sign. That means we have a lot of Wheel of Time content to be discussing. But yeah, 3 to me. 4 was okay. I mean, it was cool. It was Logain. 4 was good, but I totally preferred. 2 Whitecloaks. That is a good one. That's a good one. So I think I would go with 3 first. But
I mean,
yeah, that one's tough.
that
Yeah.
one's good.
So what else? This is your favorite episode.
Yeah.
What other kind of interesting pieces did you see here?
Let me look at my notes.
Okay, I got to bring this one up, everybody. Let's take a moment while Taylor finds his notes. You all saw this, right? Hopefully you did. I did not. So this was pointed out to me. Yeah, look who's there. I heard the whistling, but I did not notice that Padden Fane happened to be in the shot. And I was told that you actually see Padden Fane twice. I did hear the whistle right outside of the inn when they go in. Did you notice any shots of Padden Fane like this?
No, but I totally knew that was gonna happen.
You totally knew he was
Like
gonna be there?
as it was panning, I was trying to find it. I never could, but I knew that totally was going to be.
Okay, do you like this? Do you like this villain so far? Or
Oh, he's great.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's great.
I
I don't really know
you don't know
what
anything.
he is, but
right.
he's cool.
Yeah, he just shows up. Yeah, I want to ask everybody out there: did you notice him here the first time through? Did you notice Padden Fane the first time you watched? Because I think people have already watched this twice, not including whistling. Everybody, that doesn't count. I'm kind of curious who was among those that did not see, just like I did not see him. So, okay, so you checked your notes out. That was a cool Padden Fane sighting. If anyone, I know someone else said he was there twice, right outside the inn. You know, I actually think I might have that shot. Maybe I didn't upload that one. I don't know if they're talking about this being Padden Fane right here. This is where we hear the whistle. I'm not sure if that might be the coat there to the right. Is that what everybody's saying? Is the second time?
Picture and we can see the.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Well, let's try that out here. Okay. Let's go look at this other shot of Padden Fane. Oh, that does look like the jacket. Yeah.
Well, look at the cuffs.
Yeah. You
cuffs?
let me.
There's
I
like
can
two
zoom
lines.
us in here as we all love to do. Yeah. You're seeing these cuff lines on him.
Yeah, there's like a straight and then there's like a curved. So
Yeah.
go look at the.
That could be. Yeah, that definitely could be. Are people saying in chat that is him? Yep. So they're all saying that is that's the other side of that one is. You're like, you want to verify it just like
Yeah.
everybody else is. I see. That's fine.
Okay. I mean, I'm assuming that those are the two lines.
Yeah. I
you
guess
know.
you're saying yeah. That's there. So I guess we did. We have shots of both of them. Yeah, that's good old seeing Padden Fane. Love to see that. Keep on going. But again, as a book reader, that's what I'm enjoying most is seeing kind of one of my favorite characters is Padden Fane. But can't explain to you why. Yeah. So for you, what else kind of stuck out to you in this episode?
I think people are right. Like you're not getting a lot of the whole Rand and Matt
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like that is like lower. But I think it's because they're trying to build up the whole Moiraine. Or Moiraine, I don't know how you say it. Okay,
It doesn't.
Don't get mad at me.
Don't worry if you get pronunciation wrong. All of us do. Like half of us are working off of the audio pronunciations.
Is
Half
that
of
a
us-
50-50?
Yeah, it's about a 50-50.
For
Almost 600.
600?
Almost 600 of you voted on
So
this. Did you
funny.
notice Pat and Fane the first time you watched? See, I'm with the majority here. Thank you. 51% of you did not see it. Yeah, I did not see him.
I love so far my favorite like look and is the Whitecloaks.
Really?
They
Okay, that's
look
like a really
so
divisive
cool.
choice. I've heard a lot of fans do not like the Whitecloaks. Really interesting. Again, you've never read the books and you're a new viewer. For anyone that's a new viewer out there, let me ask this question, and you can continue talking about this. 50-50 on this poll. If you've noticed Fane, just over 600 of you voted on that one. I know that we have to trust people. If you've never read the books, do you like the Whitecloaks costumes?
Like I just don't know. Like, are they this bad? Like in the books, like
In other words,
do they
like
live
an
up to the current hype?
Well, I don't want to ruin it for you. How about that? But
But
this is
do
this
they
is,
get do they go in that realm?
This is a type of, in some ways, I would say these are Whitecloaks that I'm not as familiar with, but that doesn't mean they don't. It just means maybe we don't see some of these. Well, again, I don't want to ruin anything for the books. So I like this. This we have to talk about this. Obviously, Andrew just noted this. Loial put the biggest smile on my face with every single word, nailed the voice, and feel the character. What did you think? So
I thought he nailed the voice and the character too. I totally agree.
You totally agree with this?
It really just hit me. No, I don't know, but he was great. Like he had such a presence, and so that was very cool.
Okay, let's get Loial and Rand up on screen here. Well, Rand a little bit there, just to Rand the sword. Yeah, this is Loial. He's an Ogier. So, what did you think about this character? What was your response to Loial?
I doesn't like Rand say like a Trolloc or something, like he gets like scared at first, like as Loial's like walking in. He's like freaked out.
Yes, he does. He freaks out.
He's so like nicely dressed, like and it's like he's just calmly walking forward. He's got some nice hair. Like this is the coolest Trolloc that I've ever seen. If that was a Trolloc, so
Okay, let's hold that thought. Just a reminder: if you're here in chat with us, please avoid spoilers right now, especially book spoilers in chat for any new viewers that are with us. We don't want to spoil the books for them; they might jump. With this, I think the Eye of the World is just like it's become it's selling a lot because people are really interested. I know my sister-in-law is now reading the books, and that's
Really?
that's a blast. Yeah,
Really?
she's reading, and she's actually sending your mom. She's sending her like notes and stuff about like the books and stuff. It's awesome.
that's awesome.
So, but please don't ruin anything in chat for our new viewers. We will get into full book spoilers here in just about 10 minutes. But yeah, let's jump back to Loial here. I like your comment. Your comment's awesome, which is like, he's a really nicely dressed Trolloc.
Like, he's just so he's a domesticated Trolloc.
This goes out to Tad. Tad asked a question. Tad, let me copy your question. I'll address that in full book spoilers here, but I'll hold on to that one. Sorry, we can't get to that just right now, but I'll get to the other question. Yeah, he's a very nicely dressed Trolloc, which I love. Yeah, I want to ask everyone about Loial here. For those of you that did answer this poll, 200, if you've never read the books, 200 of you here have never read the books. Wow. If we believe that number, 86% of them like the Whitecloaks costume, which I thought that's a great number. As from what I've heard just among fandom, maybe I'm misremembering what fandom thought. Just how about in general, did you like the Whitecloaks costume for everybody here? And then we'll find out kind of the difference between those numbers. Yeah, Loial right here. What did you think about this character? Like, what are you led to believe? I guess
He felt nostalgic, even though
Okay.
I've never I don't have any memories with him. But like he just right as he came on, it just kind of felt like right. I don't know. It just
Interesting.
it was like a warm presence, and I was like, yeah, he seems cool. And then Rand was kind of like rude,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like not happy about that. I was like, just hang out with him or something. I don't know.
Rand was being hasty, man. Loyal's like, hey, humans they're hasty, and Rand was being hasty. He's used to it. He took it all in stride. Yeah, I'm seeing people call this out as far as his voice being fantastic. Again, we're not going to jump into book spoilers. We can talk about that here shortly, but try to stick to the discussion here. Those of you in chat, we can talk about whether you liked or didn't like as far as book to screen Loial here. But yeah, no, I thought Hamed Anamashan killed it as Loial. So as a book reader, I will say this, which is like the presence of Loial and the warmth that you feel from him and his characterization on screen. I think it's fantastic. That's when he walks in, when he brings Nynaeve. Do you remember when he like knocks on Rand's door and he's like, I have access to the grounds.
He was like, you know how I was telling you about the fact that I have access? Well, I found her.
And then he's like, she's a wisdom and she has a braid, and a braid means the ceremony. And then like Rand and Nynaeve are like,
oh my gosh, wow.
talking. Yeah, it's a great moment and so dead on for the books. We got to talk about this. Blue Boyle, you just made a comment. We will talk about that here shortly. Again, when we get to book spoilers, where we can kind of be a little bit more specific. But Blue just asked about the Forsaken statues and how many Forsaken statues, and we can discuss and argue about that.
Forsaken are there? 13?
You know that number. Huh?
Did I get it?
that was good, dude.
Oh, can we not talk about that because it's non-book spoiler stuff?
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's 12.
There's 11, there's 14, there's 21. Okay, so I have to ask everyone, or everyone's answered this question now. Okay, look at that. So 600 people voted on Whitecloaks, 90%. So there you go. People watching, at least all of the
Whitecloaks look amazing.
Yeah, the Whitecloaks
look amazing.
So for those who are in costuming, at least the fans here who have voted on this. 90% like the Whitecloaks. I was kind of surprised from it's a complaint that you hear out there, and so it's kind of one of those shocking things to actually kind of poll people here. So, okay. Interesting that David said it was weird that Loial found Nynaeve. I actually kind of liked that. So,
I thought it was a little weird.
Yeah, you thought it was weird, huh?
Yeah, I was kind of just like happened, but I don't know. He is a certain type of. What are the builders? I don't know. Is that?
What are Glory to the Builders? Yeah,
we should do an episode where you talk to me about some general trivia.
Okay, like some background trivia.
Yeah, and we'll bring like a whiteboard in, and we'll write it down.
I like it. Yeah, I totally recommend this. I saw this comment in chat. The behind the scenes clips talking about these characters. They have a section on Aemon Valda, the White Cloak. You should go watch it. Just putting together the costuming for Loial. It's really, really good. Again, go check that out afterwards. But okay, so we got just about 5 more minutes left. We're going to go full book spoilers. I'm going to bring in some more guests here. Anything else that you really kind of enjoyed from this that you want to call out?
I love the ultimatum from the White Cloaks with Egwene and Perrin.
Okay.
Like, I thought that was like, I liked that idea of continuing to ask the question of who is the dragon reborn, and to keep putting the characters in situations where we don't know.
Oh, we got to talk about this. Talk about situations here. This one's a great one. Oops, not that one. Everybody, I think you called this one out as we were watching. Mm-hmm. You thought this was a great moment. So everyone liked that moment between Rand and Matt. Again, we'll stay kind of non-book spoiler here, but yeah, you brought this up. Obviously you have Logain appear to look up and kind of laugh at everyone. What did you think about that moment? What did you think what were you seeing? Why do you think that you saw that? Or what was that all for you, I guess?
What was your question?
I know, it was like 7
questions.
questions.
7 questions.
What did you think about Logain looking up here at Matt and Rand and laughing through the bars?
Well, I don't know if I can say that because I've heard it in the books.
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't know if I can talk about that.
Okay, so yeah, Taylor, you have to remember, Taylor is a never reader, but he has produced this show for 2.5 years, so he definitely has heard some things.
And if I say that, it kind of gives away some really big things.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I really loved it. Alvaro Morte,
yeah.
he he's great every single time.
Yeah.
Like he always just brings the I don't know, like the presence. I love Logan. So.
I liked when you saw him kind of laughing up at Matt, but then it was kind of, it almost made it look like it was Matt's, like his sickness, seeing it as though he hadn't been laughing. Yeah, and it kind of leaves the viewer kind of like, what are you, is the camera an unreliable narrator in that moment? You know, is the subjective or the objective truth what you're seeing? I like him playing with that a little bit, because I, even as a reader and as a fan, was kind of like, how are they trying, or how can I understand what happened there? So I loved it. Okay. Did I say heard it in the books? I don't know. I saw that Superfly in chat.
Heard it in the book.
I might have said that. Yeah, so I think we're coming up to the end of our kind of new reader section here. Yeah,
can I rate it?
Yeah, rate this.
Rate it?
You're gonna explain to everybody your rating system?
I gotta explain the rating system. So my rating system is a true rating system.
I like that. That's very serious.
Compared to everyone's non-traditional rating systems of 4 to 10.
You're just calling everybody out.
Mine is 1 to 10, like normal. And so when I rate something, let's just say like a 5 or a 6, that's really good, because that's above half the scale.
I like how you're like offending all sorts of people. You're like, yeah, okay.
And so I think I gave episode 1 like a 7, and then I gave episode. Or no,
like a 6.5 or something. Something like
6.5.
Yep.
2 was a 7. 3 brought it back down to a 6.
Wow. No, that's so wrong. Wow. Okay.
It's actually not wrong. It's right.
You're so messed up, but okay.
And I don't think I talked about 4. I don't think I ever.
Yeah, I don't think you rated 4. Yeah.
And so I would give that one a 7.
Okay.
But I would give this episode 8.
Okay.
I'm gonna break into that top.
Wow,
that
you're in
top
the
3,
top
and I don't
3.
do that. I don't do that.
Okay.
Very often.
I totally disagree with you about 3, but yeah.
Why? 3 is just not No. It's just not.
3 is awesome. So yeah, there's the Taylor scale, an 8. Well, thank you.
An 8.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for next week.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. No, this next week is basically, one of the episodes that. What did you see?
Wrong Taylor, and then the next person was Go Taylor.
Yes, wrong Taylor, go Taylor. Yeah, no one's going to agree. We're Wheel of Time fans. Right now, everyone's disagreeing about everything that we're saying. So
Taylor's full of wrongness. Taylor doesn't give 8s.
I know. Anas said 3 was so good. I agree. 3 was so good. We actually are a live call-in talk show. We'll be opening the phone lines here also. Like I said, once my next guest gets here, we'll start talking in depth about book spoilers. But until he gets here, let me just remind you again. By the way, someone's reading your 60% is still a D. See.
What do you mean 60%?
He's saying a 6.
I don't know what you're bringing 60% in. I'm giving it a number. It's not about it. Just a 6 is great.
Yeah.
7.
You don't agree.
Even better than great.
You don't agree with that. Okay, so we're gonna switch over here to book spoilers here shortly. And like I said,
this isn't like high school.
Do you want to go see if our guest has joined us over there? And
yeah, they just did. Oh, but I gotta fix something.
Okay, so we're gonna get our guest in here shortly. We're gonna switch over to full book spoilers. Thank you, Taylor, for being here. Please, I always do this like we're a virtual audience, but round of applause for Taylor. Those of you that are watching us on Twitter or on Facebook or wherever else you're watching us, not on YouTube, you're gonna hopefully you enjoyed this sneak peek into this after show. We're going to be talking for a while about episode 5. We're going to go into full book spoilers now. We're going to open the call lines and have some fun talking about this. But yeah, so hopefully, again, come see us over on YouTube. Just look up the Dusty Wheel on YouTube, and you can continue here with us and chat. Come answer one of the many, many polls we'll be asking. I want to ask you if you think Aemon Valda is dead or not. Of course, that has to be a question we ask. So, but yes. Okay, Taylor, you want to cut us off, say goodbye to our social media people?
Yes.
Yeah, on Facebook and Twitter. Again, come see us over on YouTube. If you want to keep the conversation going, you want to give us a call. Looking forward to hearing from you. Oh, hilarious, Taylor. You want to go... I forgot it was just you and I, so I didn't even have my earphones. I couldn't even hear him if he jumped in. So I should probably throw some earphones in so I can hear our guest. That would be awesome. Well, let me welcome to the Dusty Wheel, to the show here, someone that I think you'll all love talking to about the scenes, especially with our warders. Let me welcome to the show, Malkir's King. How you doing?
I don't even know if I can answer that right now. I mean,
you are a warder, so you got to give me. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on what you just saw, Matt. I can't. So let me get just kind of bare raw reactions from you at this point. What did you think about episode 5? What's your reactions? Oh, hold on. And for those of you who are watching, we are full book spoilers now. So if you were in chat, you've never read these books, you don't want anything to be spoiled, now's the time to step away. We're sorry, but read those books. We'll keep on doing kind of a portion of this show as non-spoilers we can get, but we're about to go full book spoilers here. So thanks, everybody. Chat's going to turn into full book spoilers too, so just expect the chat to be full book spoilers. Okay. Here we go. Malkir's King. Let me hear it. What did you think about episode 5?
I was not emotionally prepared for that episode at all.
I'm not surprised that you said that, especially for
the ending,
your adherence to the warder life.
The ending especially, it hit me like a punch in the gut. And even though in response to your tweet about theories, I actually said that my theory was that Steppin dies and Lan was mourning for Steppin. Yeah. I was still not ready for it.
So I want to ask you about that. I saw ever since they released a clip of this moment. I think it was in a teaser that they released it, and we've seen this clip of Lan grieving at this funeral. Now we know what the context was of this moment. And I don't know how many people I've heard say, like, Lan would never cry like that. And so I kind of want to ask you, how do you feel about how they portrayed Lan in this moment? Or how Daniel Henney portrayed Lan and how they did the scene?
It is a change from the books because we know from New Spring that like Lan lost Bukama and he did not burst into tears over that. He didn't cry over Bukama's loss. But this is in my opinion an improvement on the book Lan, because I think the way Robert Jordan wrote Lan's stoicism was a very tropey way of writing stoicism, and does not take into account the fact that Stoics don't believe that you're not allowed to have emotions, and like Mr. Spock is always portrayed as this like emotionless, kind of almost like a robot, and that's kind of how we've come to think of the idea of stoicism and Stoics, but that's not the case. Emotion is real, and processing emotion is real, and when you have something that hurts you that much, the appropriate response is grief.
This is an interesting thing. He was told to lay his hands on Steppin, right? And then he was told, relieve us of our grief. And that hit me when he said that, because here's a warder, right, in this moment, asked to be this lead mourner, if you will. I think that's how they call it in the behind the scenes footage, this idea, and told to relieve everyone else of their own grief. And so I thought that was an interesting way to kind of put Lan in this situation where his honor almost dictated that he would do this, right? And that he would relieve everyone of their grief. I actually had that kind of moment after I watched where I was like we had just seen what had happened to Steppin, obviously, and we had seen the arc of Steppin and Karina, and to have this moment with Daniel Henney, right? You feel like you're there with him, and where he's relieving not only the people in that room, but almost the people that are watching of the grief of that moment. So yeah, I thought that was really, really poignant. So
it was a very cathartic ritual.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like how Daniel Henney, like I said in the behind the scenes clips, talks about how the way he thought it would make sense for him as Lan would be the scream, the kind of I think he calls the guttural scream of grief. I know. And this one, I want to ask everybody here in chat, I'm sure what's the right question, Matt, here about this moment with Lan, you'll help me come up with what's the right question to ask our audience here that are watching about this moment, like how they took it in. A good yes or no question here.
Did did Lan's role as the lead mourner help the viewer, help the audience process their grief over Steppin?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. That's a good question here. Okay. We'll ask that. We'll ask them that question. I'm kind of curious what people are going to say. I know we're getting a lot of super chats here, everybody, and so I'm going to try to track those just so we don't miss those. Appreciate that. Appreciate this. Jojo B just said the ceremony gave Lan the permission to express his deep grief for the group. It was a beautiful part of the ritual and a beautiful part of Lan himself. Rafe kind of even said that in the behind the scenes clip. He's like, I know this is not something we'd ever see, or you'd think you'd ever see from Lan. And so, but talking about this funeral itself and just the way that they went ahead and had him in this moment. So yeah, anyways, I keep on bringing up the behind the scenes clip because it's really, really cool and gives some context for this. Interesting. We just asked this poll question. Almost 500 of you have voted for this, and 71% are saying it did. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. That's a great reaction.
See that. I also have to say, I noticed, it struck me when they went back and forth between Lan and Moiraine looking at each other, that I think the presence of the two of them in this ritual amplified both of their emotions.
Yeah.
I would certainly imagine that he would have responded similarly even if she hadn't been there. But the fact that she was there and responding to how he felt, and he's responding to how she felt. I think I said that right. Not only that, in addition to that, there's this sub layer where they're realizing that this is something that could happen to them. Like that's something that would happen to him if something happened to her.
Yeah, let's talk full book spoilers. They're clearly setting up like Moraine's conversation with Alana. Alana mentions, like you can release somebody from the bond. She throws that little thing out there into the universe. You see a lot of this moment between Moiraine and Lan, where the losses, as far as the search for the Taviran, they've lost the individuals they went to the two rivers to find, and now Steppin and Karina here, they've experienced this loss, and they're starting to. They've been on this journey for a while, and you start to see kind of some of the pieces that the writers were trying to put into place for setups for later. Is that how you felt like this? I mean, is this where you see these last two episodes setting the foundations for what we know is coming up, or what we believe is coming up in the relationship between Moiraine and Lan?
Yes, and I appreciate it greatly, because one thing that's always bothered me about the books is at what point after Moiraine met Nynaeve was she ever in touch with Morel to pass on that, to make that arrangement with Lan's bond? Because we know that her whole intention was that when Nynaeve was ready, Morel would pass the bond to her. So it had to have happened after Moiraine met Nynaeve and knew that she was able to channel. But at what point was she ever in the same place with Morel after that for her to do that? That was never satisfactorily answered to me.
Okay,
and
now
they're setting this up.
I want to ask you though. Okay, so because a lot of people thought this, almost 600 of you voted, by the way, 70% to 30% did have some connection with this from a grief standpoint. Some of you said you didn't connect with Steppin's character. I saw those comments. Sorry, I couldn't pull those in specifically, but you still saw this moment as as kind of legitimate, kind of this grieving moment. But yeah, 100%. I just saw this. Darius, 100%. Alana is Muriel's role. So do you think Moiraine will pass the bond to Alana? Here we go, everybody. So do you think that that's what they're setting up, or are they just giving us Alana to set up the idea, or do you think they're embedding in Alana as far as taking on Lan's bond?
I personally would tend to go towards the idea that this is just the setup and that she's not going to pass it on to Alana, because there are other arcs with Alana that are more relevant later on in the story. And to me, those seem more important. Now, again, I have no idea what their plans are, and they've certainly done their homework, so they know what they're doing. But to me, with my limited knowledge of how they're working this out, it would make more sense for them to keep Lan's rebonding separate from what happens to Rand later on.
Yeah, I think they're setting up two things here. I think I agree with people in chat that are saying this. I don't think they're going to go the Alana route, although the chat so far, the poll does. I think they're setting up Alana for what we believe comes later in her story arc.
Yes.
The bond that she creates and why. I think they're giving her motivation. I think they're giving her some rationale where the viewer will watch and maybe not understand how complicated or what it's the idea behind just bonding somebody without their permission, if you will, and using maybe the grief of this moment or the recognition on Alana's part of like what could happen, you know, and actually thinking that she's doing something, you know, good. You know, I think that I feel like that's what they're trying to set up, give some foundation for that choice. I know, again, one of those is Alana's a divisive character in this way, and a lot of people are saying they hate how much they've come to like this Alana so far in the
she's the character they hate to love.
Yeah.
So here's a question. In the books, Ilana's second warder is Owen or Owain. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And they renamed him Maxim, presumably so that we don't get confused with all the Owens and Tom's nephew and all that.
Right.
Now, in the books, Owen dies when they're getting in the Two Rivers or in the Two Rivers. I forget exactly at what point he dies over there. But it's shortly after that, while she's still recovering emotionally from her loss, that she goes and bonds Rand against his will. Do you think they're going to kill off Maxim in the series to give her that emotional instability?
Yeah, and that would make sense for sure.
Sorry, Taylor.
Almost 600 voted. Do you think Moiraine will pass the bond to Alana? Wow, 60% said yes.
Wow.
Look at those people out there. 60% of you think that is what they're setting this up for. That's an interesting call. Let me read out some of the comments. Corey said, thank you very much for the tip. Said, I definitely think that Lan was supposed to be the avatar of everyone else's grief. His reaction was the collective grief of all there. Also, do you think they'll show a Forsaken before the other world? Corey, I love this sneaking in like last question of like, yeah, that's a good question for you out there. We can ask everybody here that question. Do you think we'll see a Forsaken? I'll say, do you think they'll show? Yeah, we'll see. That's tough. Do you think they'll show us a Forsaken? How about that? Yeah, because I was gonna say maybe somebody we've already seen, right? Show a Forsaken. How about we say before? Because we assume the Eye of the World is what the name of the 8th episode. So we assume going, but before, let's just say before episode 8. How about that? There we go. We'll ask that question. That's a good comment. Roger, thank you very much for your tips. Roger said, first Watt swears blood and ashes. There you go. Loial looked better than I was expected from the stills. Leandrin may become Elida according to Alana Moiraine chat. And Perrin bloody golden eyes. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. Okay, so before we jump to one of those many different topics, and I'm going to open the call lines here. You can give us a call, share your thoughts with Matt and I. That's right, you have Matt and Matt tonight helping you out, kind of process what you just saw. So any other final thoughts on this moment with Steppin and Lan and what you see kind of transpire between the warders?
I really appreciated how they showed this bond and camaraderie between the warders, how they are able to share with each other emotionally and discuss their personal histories and their weaknesses and just open up with each other. They are literally brothers of other mothers.
Yes. I definitely appreciate they did this. The last couple of episodes here have, if this makes sense, I have never felt this much kinship or desire to become a warder before. I've never cared. It's like, cool, warders, no thank you. But now seeing this brotherhood that you've seen amongst them, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I do care about the warders. And I like getting kind of inside this bond from their perspective. So
Like,
yeah,
you didn't care about warders before?
I mean,
That's
look,
what I got from this. You know,
look. Let me point out something again. Lanfear, Varen, Teleronriad, Metaphysics, Min. Yeah, I mean, I have a very kind of narrow focus. What can I say?
that's fair. I mean, my focus is relatively narrow also. So I guess
know. Yeah. What are you talking about? Yeah, exactly. Okay. I love these comments. Almost 600 voted over the last minute or two on this one too. Do you think they'll show a Forsaken before episode 8? 70% of you believe they will show a Forsaken. Okay, let me see top candidates before you all kind of post those. Which Forsaken? We're just gonna pick 4. You think the top candidates? Which Forsaken? Or give me 3. Which Forsaken do you think we'll see?
Well, I think any Forsaken that we'll see right off the bat is most likely going to be Ishamael.
Yeah, should we allow that in the poll? Should we allow Ishamael in the poll? Is it like?
I mean, it's kind of an obvious one. We've already seen him.
Right, technically,
Sort of,
right?
sort
We
of.
think that's exactly from a dream perspective, right?
Yes.
Yes, let's keep him out of the poll.
Looks-
I guess we can't because we asked everybody. We'll leave Ishamael in there, and you can pick the boring answer. Who else? What are the other 2 answers? And then we'll give other as a 4th answer. Which Forsaken here?
Manfear.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess we'll put Lanfear in there if we have to. Yeah. What other Forsaken?
I mean, she's the second one who we really aside from.
Like, we should pick obviously Agenor. We'll
Agenor
put
and
them on
Balthamel.
one line here. We'll give them
I would not be surprised if they eliminate Agenor and Balthamel
Okay.
and just have Rand's scuffle be with Ishamael.
Interesting. Anna Kimmel just said Padden Fane is probably a Forsaken. Okay, we're gonna have to come back to that. I love that theory. Not because necessarily I'm like totally bought into it yet, Anna, but I love the idea. Okay. This. Yeah, no, I don't know what the comment meant as far as Dumai's Well out there. It's the way the show is going. I will not be able to watch. The way the show is going. Thank you. I will not be able to watch Dumai's Well. May even have to drop earlier. I'm assuming that means just because maybe the investment or what it would be like to actually experience that. I'm not sure I totally got that comment. Apologize if I didn't understand that one. And then I like this. Vet Flips said, Matt, we need Rand and Lan to get some cat crosses the courtyard going. Are you anxious for some training?
I would love to see. I'm really anxious to see how they are going to do the training and show us the different forms. I've already spent some time watching and rewatching the training sequence with Lan and Steppin from last episode. I have been over analyzing that. I've been reading into it way too much. Which
are
is
you gonna put out like a video of it of yourself analyzing it? You should do that, right?
I am. That's actually I may as well say it now, but that's actually my plan for the Wada holiday.
Interesting. Okay,
Very
cool.
fun.
So yeah, if Wada holiday, do you want to explain to everyone that's watching if they just heard the words Wada holiday? Do you want to explain what that is?
So Malkir Talks, our good friend Rob, the Malkir's sexiest chef, is putting together put together this 24-hour charity live stream with the different content creators to raise money for Brandon Sanderson's foundation. I'm forgetting the name of it.
Isn't it Lightweaver?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Lightweaver Foundation.
Yeah.
It is Saturday the 11th from sometime in the afternoon / evening, depending where you are in the world, going through Sunday, December 12th. So I highly recommend that you check out Malkir Talks on Twitter, and you'll see all the ads for Wada Holiday.
And you're going to be breaking down the forms that they.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I'll be on at 6 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
So normally when I'm getting up to go to the gym, I will instead be breaking down the forms that Lan and Steppin do in episode 4.
Nice. Okay. So by the way, which Forsaken do you think we'll see if we do? This one has almost 600 votes also. And obviously a fan favorite here just from reading the books, Ishamael. But, we got 47% and 26% for Lanfear, 21% for Agenor and Balthamel, and 4% for other. I love this comment from Michael a while back. Sorry, Michael, I didn't show this one. As good as Daniel Henney was, Rosamund Pike sold that scene. Yeah. That scene with Rosamund Pike there and Daniel Henney, that back and forth. Rafe has talked about this a lot, that relationship between them, feeling the feelings between them. Yeah, great scene. In the end, regardless if you believe that Lan is capable of crying, he was told to relieve them of their grief. And in that moment, actually, if you look at him, he's looking at three people. Alana, who lost her warder, Steppin, his friend. Moiraine, who he's now been with for however long on this mission. And then behind her, Nynaeve, right? The trifecta of people that he was staring at as he looked forward there for a moment, I thought was pretty powerful too. So, okay. Phone lines are... What was that?
I said hashtag real men cry.
Oh my God. By the way, I just opened the phone lines, but you're all like, know the phone lines. So you're like, he said phone lines are going to be open tonight. So there's 4 of you waiting. So I apologize for someone who our queue is only 5 large. Therefore, whoever the lucky person that wanted to call in is going to get in, and the rest of you are going to get, busy signals here. But as the queue goes down, I'll let you know, and you can try to call back in. So. We have 4 callers waiting. There was, like I said, a number of tweets. Let's quickly go for those, and we'll bring our first caller in. Let me say this. Jojobi, let me hit you with this. Warder Min. That's a fun idea. I love your theories, everybody. You're playing with the theory game. I've told you, always call in with theories. Lumen said, I think we're going to get reverse Timandred. They will cut Demandred. I couldn't say the name, and give us all those major plot lines to Taim. I almost said Tame, by the way. That was a flashback for me. Beth said, did you think the interaction between Egwene and Valda was a foreshadowing of her role in the future? The strength she showed screamed Amyrlin, in my opinion. Yes, Beth, absolutely. They're doing a really good job layering these kind of things into the show. Rant, we're going to have to get back to this one and said, thoughts on the monuments around Egwene and Perrin's capture? Did we see a portal stone? We'll have to get back to that one. Tad just said, do you think Show Valda is a merging of Valda and Caridin? I want to ask that one here. Is Show Valda, and I this is a great call out, a merging of Valda and Caridin. I think that spelled Caridin right. You hear him say to Egwene, he says, what makes you think I'm the kind of man that keeps to his word, or something to that effect? That was how he said that. And it felt like a little kind of wink out to the viewer of, now Jordan did this. There's red herrings. Jordan took us down the red herring route, right? But you've seen what he does, obviously, to Aes Sedai, what he's allowed to do. And the idea that he might kind of be merged with Caridin, this is an obvious merge for me. And so I would vote yes in this poll. Honestly, I have no problem thinking that that's very much what might be happening here. What do you think about that, Matt?
Or Valda is Demandred. No, I'm kidding with that. No.
Oh, no, Valda being a Forsaken. Oh man, how many times we're gonna have to do like Forsaken this, Forsaken that all the time?
I actually really, I never thought about that, but I really like that idea.
Yeah. I think it works. I don't see a reason why you would not do that. Okay, so seeing all the comments, people, thank you very much. I'm gonna try to pull those in. We're gonna get some callers in now. You got your caller. The callers have been patiently waiting. All of you have been patiently waiting to try to get your comments in. Trying to pull your comments in from chat too, but you guys are wonderful with just the questions and the tips here. Let me bring our first caller into the show. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Hi, my name's Katie. I've been watching for a few months, and my first time calling in.
Katie, welcome. Hey, nice job, by the way. So you tracked you got the number, and you got it first on the list. I love it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being a first time caller. So tell me your thoughts about episode 5, and then maybe ask us the question or comment you called in about.
Yeah, well, I have a couple of things I wanted to point out, but I don't think anyone's mentioned yet.
Okay.
The first thing I want to say is that when Rand is talking to Loial about the tales of Jane Farstrider,
yeah,
he says his friend was really into the book, into the story, right? And I think he's talking about Egwene, and he says she thinks she's Jane herself reborn. It sounds like Jane is a woman in this world.
Yeah. So okay. So good question. This is what, and it depends on if it's an in-world belief. Rafe has said this about the metaphysics about the souls in this TV show of Wheel of Time, has said that the souls are not gendered. So it depends on how you're going to interpret that. It could be an interpretation of anyone thinks they could be anyone reborn, and that's just a general belief. Or, like you said, perhaps Jane Farstrider is a woman, and that's why Egwene was thinking that. That's a great question. What do you think the interpretation is, and is that where you went? Is your theory that Jane in this world is a woman?
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, when they talk about the dragon, they say, will he be reborn as a boy or a girl? That's what Moiraine says in the beginning, right?
Right.
So it seems like they use the gender of the previous version of the person when they talked about them before. It was interesting.
Yeah.
When I heard that, it really sat on me for a little while as the show kept going. So I was wondering if anyone else has noticed that. Yeah,
that's an interesting. Yeah, no, interesting point to bring that up. And I hadn't even thought that maybe, though, like you said, maybe Jane Farstrider in this version is a woman. And again, it could be either of those interpretations. That's a great thought. What was your overall take on episode 5? Where did it kind of land for you as far as the Wheel of Time TV show episodes so far?
Oh, I really liked it. I liked how they combined, Perrin would, he met the Whitecloaks back, close to the Two Rivers, but there was that scene where Egwene runs into the Whitecloaks near Tar Valon. So I like how they combined that. It was really, really cool to see that all come together. Overall, I really liked the episode.
Yeah. I thought that, this is kind of, if you look at the books, this would be kind of them coming together in Camelin, right? If it feels that way. Like if you think episode 5, I don't know. I don't think Camelin's halfway. I thought Camelin is more like 2/3 of the way. I can't remember anymore. It's been too long since
Camelin's
it's around there. Yeah.
So, that would make sense. Kind of, I like that, but it's obviously Tar Valon instead of that. I like the pacing seems to be like 8 episodes across the Eye of the World, obviously with some pieces pulled in from other books. I thought this was really interesting. It's made sense for me from a pacing standpoint as far as the Eye of the World's concerned. It's working for me. I don't know about everybody else, but I love it. Well, thank you so much, Katie, for watching the show, for calling in, for being our first caller tonight. I really appreciate that. And please do call us back, okay?
All right, thank you.
Yep,
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hopefully I didn't miss too many questions here. And people point this out in chat. Obviously, depending on if they're going to go with the idea of a rebirth and have Jane not actually, maybe that was a nod to Jane and not it's not going to be in the show, but this is kind of our way to kind of Easter egg Jane Farstrider in, or this is a way to start talking about Jane Farstrider because Jane Farstrider is still alive. Are you hoping, Matt, for a more book interpretation of Jane Farstrider?
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect it. To me, it doesn't affect the story in any way. It didn't. When we found out who Jane Farstrider really was at the end, I was like, it was just a.
Yeah.
It was a nice little thing. It was cute,
you have
but
no
it wasn't.
heart. You have no heart.
There was nothing in it. It didn't do anything to me. It didn't do anything for me as far as the story went.
There's a lot of, you just lost a lot of fans here.
Well, he writes a great book, but.
Yeah.
But we weren't emotionally invested enough in him to know that, oh man, all of a sudden Noel is this awesome guy who did fantastic things. We didn't get enough about him earlier in the books for that to be a major revelation to me. The other thing I was thinking, I like this thought. I like Katie's thinking into this, because the third option is that it is entirely possible that souls could be gendered, but people believe that they're not gendered because the unreliable narrator idea. Now, I would prefer, personally, I would prefer the idea that they're not gendered, because I think that makes the whole world just a little smoother in terms of weaving out weaving in and out people into the story, because anyone can be anyone previously, rather than sequestering souls into one specific gender.
The reason why I think it's not, I thought it was like an in-world belief thing, but Rafe has made a comment outside of the world saying the world is this way. So I don't take Rafe's comment in this regard as unreliable narrator. I
thought he said that Moiraine believes it.
No, that's not the answer that I'm thinking of. The answer I'm thinking of is actually he said, well, now you have me kind of going like, did he say that? But I don't remember him saying that. I thought he said, no, that's not how our world works. This world works like this. So yeah, that's why. Let me end this really quick. Is Show Valda emerging of Valda and Caradon? So almost 600 voted on that one, and 75% say yes. This is a lot of fun for us to kind of see what they maybe have coming up. Okay, I'm gonna try to get through some of these. We'll get our next caller in with the queue filled up right again. Let me quickly cover some of these shots or some of these tips and comments. Really appreciate it. Darth Burney said ta'veren. Darth, I apologize. I don't even remember what the comment was about, but we need to talk about ta'veren. We absolutely should. I'm sure the comment was about Logain seeing ta'veren. Is that what you believe happened? Do you believe that actually happened? Do you think that Matt was imagining that?
No, I think that actually happened.
Okay.
Now maybe not the full Hannibal effect. With his face in the BARSIDE.
Gotcha. You think when he looked up, that's what
I think he looked up and laughed.
Yeah. This is the scene. I think I have it here. Oh, I thought I did. Shoot. That's where, he looks up and laughs at him. I definitely believe that we're going to keep that in there, but I'm just going to ask everybody in chat here, did Logain see ta'veren? It makes sense to leave that in here, to leave it in the show. I don't know why you'd take that out. It's such a good beat. Okay. So let me jump here. Looney Theories from, Hopper saw this one. Looney Theories with Taylor. We'll have to do a Looney Theories show with Taylor sometime. That'd be great. We have to talk about Forsaken statues. We'll get to that one. Blue Boyle. And Agenor, Matt, number 4 was our first shot of Lanfear, you woolhead. Agenor, what are you saying? Who was episode 4, Lanfear? Is that what you're saying, Agenor? If you're still here, I'm kind of curious if that's what you're trying to say in that comment. So, now I'm curious. RMVANRIJ, I can't pronounce that. Can we have a moment for the lousy 5 Forsaken, which even Steppin's mom didn't find frightening? Okay, let's talk it. Let's do it. Let's talk this. We have to. We can't ignore this discussion any longer. Let's get our next caller in and ask them this question. We got to talk the Forsaken statues. It just has to happen. Do you think that Matt? What's your pulse here? You think they were making a comment on how many Forsaken we were going to have? Is that how book fans are supposed to read that scene that we saw? Are there 8 so. Forsaken in the show?
I think so. I also on your Twitter thread about the predictions, I also thought that they're going to be cutting down on the number of Forsaken, and 8 was actually the number that I figured they would probably keep. So I am all for that.
Okay. So I have a couple different theories on that thought. So let me ask this to the poll, because I can't tell. I haven't watched, or I can't remember if I've watched all of the animated shorts. I need to go back and listen to them. I can't remember if they bring up the Forsaken at all. So I can't remember if we've heard anything about the Forsaken. But about 500 of you voted. Did Logain see ta'veren? 20% of you said no. 80% said yes. Wow. Okay. How many Forsaken will there be in the show? 13. How about 13, but we'll only see 8? Only 8. And then some other number. How about that? Okay. So hopefully you understand those options. They're going to say there's 13 and we're going to get 13. They're going to say there's 13. We're only going to get 8 in the show, or there's only actually 8 and they're going to say that there's only 8 or some other number. That's the poll, everybody. I know it's a complicated one. Hopefully you followed that logic in chat here with us. Yeah, that's a great question. And like I said, to the comments that were made here, Blue Boyle said, did anyone count the Forsaken statues to see how many were in the show? People were saying 8. I kind of thought there was like another one off to the side. I don't know that they actually showed us. I'm not of the belief that they showed us all the statues, honestly. I just think that we didn't see all the statues. That's where my head's at. But I love the comment, can we have a moment for the lousy 5 Forsaken that Steppin's mom didn't find frightening? What a great freaking comment. I love that.
Can I jump back to Logan for a quick second?
Go for it, yeah.
Scrolling through chat, and Delusions of Grendel made a comment. She said, Logan was never laughing at Rand because he could sense the source. He laughed because of his talent for seeing Ta'veren, and Rand shone so brightly, Logan knew he was going to bring the chaos. I think that's, first of all, I think that's spot on. But also, it just occurred to me, in the books, Logain never saw Mat because Mat was tucked away in the Queen's blessing. Right. So Logain looked up and he saw 2 Ta'veren.
Yes, this is a different experience. Right. By the way, we are going to get to all your comments. I'm tracking all these comments for those of you out there. But hopefully you stick around if you want to hear a discussion of your comment. But yes, he sees 2 in this case. And that's a different moment than we get in the books, but I love it. I love that we got the parading down the streets. I love that we got to see them. And there's a moment here, I couldn't bring this up when Taylor was here, but I want to address this. Mat says to him, can we just have an agreement? Either of us won't let the other become like Logain. What I understood that to be was captured by Aes Sedai and gentled. And then he's like, whoever it is, and Rand's like, that's not going to happen. And he's like, just promise me. And Rand says, I promise you. And Mat basically also said, well, I promise. I think Mat promises too. So I thought that was really interesting of like, what does that mean for this relationship between Mat and Rand? They seem to be setting up something there, which I thought was cool.
I caught that. Yeah. But that could also mean, it doesn't necessarily mean caught and gentled by the Aes Sedai, but it could mean don't let the person who's channeling. I took it actually to mean a little darker, meaning people who channel and who get gentled lose the will to live. It's almost better to end it quickly rather than to let it drag out like that.
Yeah, I took that in too, and then we tie it to the flicker scene, right, with Mat. If you remember, if I'm not remembering this wrong, Mat comes out of it and tells him, I would never betray you. Doesn't he say something like that? I thought Mat says to Rand, I would never betray you. Something to that effect, I thought. And so I connected that moment with the moment we actually see them chatting here. And it was like, ooh, are they going to bring in some flicker Mat into this? I'd actually really be excited about that a lot. Okay. So this poll, almost 600 of you voted on this one too. How many Forsaken will be in the show? Only 8 won. Oh, that's so depressing. I want 13. Give me my 13 Forsaken. I would have answered 13, but maybe we only see 8.
Oh, come on. Balthamel is utterly useless.
Look, I want my 13 Forsaken.
And also, we don't need
about one thing.
we don't need all the Forsaken to be reborn again. Like enough is enough. Okay.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't need we don't need
Sindain.
We have to have transmigration.
Or Osengar.
Have to have transmigration. I totally disagree with that. Transmigration must exist. Does anyone else out there agree with me?
One of them. You can have one.
Must we have transmigration in the show? We all know what transmigration, right? Means the Dark One taking a soul before it returns to the soul pool, basically, and putting it in another body. Okay. So we're on the same page. We have transmigration in the show. Yes, we must. Let me bring this next call. Go ahead.
But I'll make you a deal.
Okay.
You can have Lanfear becoming Sindain, but no Osengar and Arengar.
You don't like the daggers? Come on, man. What kind of book fan are you? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let me bring our next caller into the show.
Apparently, I'm not a fan at all.
Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
This is Samantha, I think.
Samantha, you think? Okay. Hey, Samantha, how you doing?
Sorry, I've got I got the whole feed on. Let me mute that. I didn't know I was next. Okay.
Oh yeah, no worries. No worries. So what's going on?
I have so many things to say and so many questions, but I'll try and keep bullet points.
Okay.
Someone in chat brought up a really interesting theory that Valda might be a Forsaken, and I love that because to me, it's the only way it makes sense that he's capturing Aes Sedai. I hate that plot point. I do not like these OP White Cloaks at all.
Yeah, they're a little bit freaky. I will agree with you. It does give a little bit more rationale where we don't have to go down the route of like, why can't I think of the T that takes away
Forkroot.
channeling?
Yeah,
Forkroot. There we go. I was
all
like
that-
four.
But I think but Brandon said somebody. I'm pretty sure somebody screenshotted Brandon on Reddit saying that they have Forkroot.
Brandon, I think, suggested that I couldn't remember if he said like they definitely do or that's his idea to wrap.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a canon thing for the
Right.
show. But that was what he had.
So Samantha, we'll ask everybody here: is Valda Forsaken? We'll ask them in that once everyone answers my latest poll correctly, which seems to be about the correct. We must we have for transmigration in the show. 75% of you are right. 25% of you are wrong. We'll end that poll. Thank you for the 75% for being right. That's a great answer by all of you. So Samantha, I'll ask your question here, and then you can give us some other. Yeah, go ahead and kind of add some other comments here, and I will throw this poll up.
So my other question was about Nynaeve. I know Moiraine says like her first time channeling was healing a bunch of people when she's talking to Leandrin, but in telling the story about Egwene and her backbone fever to Rand, it seems like she left out the part about channeling at all. So I'm just wondering about the implications that has on things like channeling sickness and, of course, her never having channeled before, and the tracking Egwene from the two rivers, or if that is even what she did. We don't even know. I don't believe she could track anyone from the two rivers all the way past Shadar Logoth without the one power. I don't know how that's possible, even for a BAMF like Nynaeve.
Yeah, right. So Matt, what do you think about that channeling sickness and what we're seeing in the show so far, and how you think they're portraying or the details are giving us on this topic?
So this again is where my favorite phrase of unreliable narrator comes in, because just because Moiraine says something doesn't mean it's actually true. It means that that's what Moiraine believes to be true. So I think that Nynaeve has channeled before. I think that that's what her listening to the wind is. But she is a wilder, and I think it was 1 in 4 wilders don't experience the channeling sickness. I think it's the majority of wilders get sick and eventually die a horrible death.
3/4 of them do. Yeah.
Yeah. So Nynaeve happens to be one of the lucky 25% who emerges unscathed, and that's her whole plot line, that she's developed this block of anger that she has to be angry in order to channel. So I think it all lines up perfectly. Moiraine's belief that Nynaeve, that was her first time channeling, does not negate the fact that Nynaeve probably has channeled before.
Yes, I agree with that interpretation. 1 second. Okay.
I want to believe that's the case as well.
Yes. Sorry, I had to take that. Doing triple duty here as a as host. Yes, I that makes sense to me. I like you bring in the 3/4, the 1/4 surviving this. Is it 1/4? So Sam says 1/4 survive the sickness. Yes.
That's correct. Yeah. I was
1/4.
Wrong.
1/4 survive the actual sickness. The 3/4 number was just how many end up dying from it.
Right.
So yes, your thought, Matt, is that she's already survived the sickness before.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
She's 26 or 27 already, so she would have started channeling since Egwene has probably just started channeling. I'd say they've aged that up too, but in the books she would have been channeling for 10 years already. So it's likely that she's been channeling at least 5 or 6 years, if not longer.
Yeah, I think that is that seems the most likely to me. That's the interpretation that I feel like we have to go with. Samantha, that's the one you like to interpret it that way?
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of what I was thinking, but I couldn't be sure. And I didn't know what kind of implications it would have further down the line if it weren't the case.
Well, you were right.
Yeah, I think that that is yes. I think that has to be our interpretation. That's the one that makes sense to me. Let me end the poll, by the way, while you're on the phone, Samantha, before we let you go. Is Valda a Forsaken? Only 14% of the people in this chat that answered are agreeing with you right now. But I think what could happen, I'm going to throw my little theory twist on that. What if Valda is one of the people that Forsaken basically become? In other words, that maybe they Mask of Mirrors him or something. In other words, he's dead, but they kind of portray themselves as Valda. We still have the actor. Maybe they do something like that. I don't know if we're going to get something to that effect. We have a lot of that happen with the Forsaken, so I could see him being somebody that could be an object of that kind of twist in the books that we get in actual TV.
Right.
Show. But anyway, that's
on that note. I have one other question.
Okay, go for it.
If he's not a Forsaken, can we talk about the unmitigated gall of doing that right outside of Tar Valon?
Yes. Lightfriend just said, I just think Valda's a psychopath. Yes. I
agree. That
was another thing I thought they did great, which was showing the contempt that the Whitecloaks do have, or at least Valda does, for the Aes Sedai right outside their walls. And we see that in the books also. And totally like that idea. So that they would actually portray that, but absolutely agree that showing us that I think it was perfect. I mean, I know you said the absolute gall, Samantha, but did you like that they did that? Did you feel like that was the Wheel of Time in that moment?
I think it's the Whitecloaks. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
I think it's what we can expect from them.
Yeah, right.
In New Spring, when the Accepted were going out to collect names after the fighting was done, when Moiraine and Swan went out, they had to push the tower guards who were accompanying them to not let a group of Whitecloaks intimidate them, because there was a group of Whitecloaks at the end of the bridge that they were crossing.
Yeah. Yes, I had them having to kind of go through them. I love that. Hey, Samantha, thank you so much for calling in. I love bringing all those thoughts to us here, and a lot of Valda discussion which we needed to kind of get to here. So thank you for doing that, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you. Yep. Bye-bye. Okay. A lot of questions here, everybody. Let me throw some of these up here.
Dedsy had a great comment in chat.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I just lost it. He said Valda can't be a dark friend because the show needs a-holes who are not dark friends.
Yeah, no, people say that all the time. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. David Gregory, thank you much for tips. Said, great episode. This was a book fan episode in so many ways. Absolutely agree. Counted 8 Forsaken, which probably makes sense. Perrin calling the wolves was emotional. Loved Loial. Yeah, thank you. That we got to get to that whole Whitecloak scene here. Robert R., thank you very much, said, blood calls blood. When Perrin's back was cut open, it called the wolves. Oh. Do you think the pain and that moment of his back being opened, oh my gosh, he got frigging tortured there. They both were assaulted by the Whitecloaks in this episode.
You have to watch that again.
But actually, and then because you see his eyes the first time he's cut, and the eyes, you see his golden eyes there. Yeah, I wonder if that was because the moment was when his back was cut when that happened. So that's a good one. Jacob, thank you very much. Said real men cry. Yes, laugh out loud. Also liked water bonding. We don't often get men being vulnerable on TV. Yeah, that whole scene of all the warders. Maxim has the best line where he's like, "My father tried to kill me when I was 12, so stop whining." I'll never forget that line. It's so good. So yes, great comment. Darius said, Egwene was a total bad A, and I have been thinking Valda and Carradine are a combo since we found out Valda was a questioner. Darius, thank you very much for your tip. We appreciate that, and I agree. And Egwene is for sure, and showed it in this episode. Brian Mullen said, just tuned in. Are we thinking about Leandrin will merge with Elida? We've had that conversation over the last 2 episodes of the show here, and this has come out that people don't want that to happen, but a lot of us think it might happen. So Galena, I think, was last night's winner. They think that Leandrin might be merged with Galena. And I think after Galena, it was Alviarin and Elida maybe, or just no merge at all, was just as popular. Glenn Peterson said, my ears are constantly scanning for whistling now. Do we get more than 2 Fane sightings? Were there more than 2 Fane sightings? Did you hear about this, Matt? Did you actually see Pat and Fane in the show?
Yes. I saw him the second time. I'm trying to remember what the first time was. It was the first time was right after Rand got the pastry in the street. You hear the whistling and you see his sleeve.
Yeah.
And then the second time was he was sitting under an arch off of the street down below where the procession was going when Rand and Matt were sitting on the balcony on the second floor above across the street from him.
Did you hear anything else or see anyone else after that?
I didn't hear or see any other.
Tom Stanley just said in chat, Matt saw Fane. And by the way, greatest comment ever. Light Halkin said, have we discussed the fact that all roads did wind up leading to Tar Valon?
That's not how roads work.
Oh, it's how they apparently work on the show. Thank you for that moment. Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that so much. Ryan G just said Valda might have a Terangreal like the Foxhead medallion. Yeah, do you guys like this idea of Valda having some Terangreal? Here we go. Do you think Valda
I don't think he would, because I think as somebody who hates the channeling as much as he does, he wouldn't want anything to do with the one power.
Well, that's if you trust that he's a man of his words and somebody that actually has, that believes in the words that he's saying. That I get the feeling like he's suggesting to us, he's telling us that we should believe him, that he doesn't, or we shouldn't. Robert gave this comment. It did seem Valdo was aware of Egwene's weave. A male channeler can sense the one power, so maybe a Forsaken. Robert, I did, like, when she throws the fire and it stops, I did have that same thought of, like, did he somehow, like, stop that from happening? Is that why he's so confident? So I wish I would have seen this comment when Samantha was up there, because it could be, like, that would be an interesting twist to have given us Forsaken this early. Alistair said, I like this comment. If Valdo was a Forsaken, he'd already be hunting the Emmons Fielders. That's true. Like, that he would be less kind of tied into all of the stuff that's happening. So that's a point against that theory. Okay. So tried to get some of those comments. We're going to get to more of those, but let's bring our next caller into the show here with us. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Hi, Matt. It's Paul from Wheel of Games.
Paul, how you doing, man? So, what do you think? Episode 5. What's your thought and what's your question?
My question is, did anybody really doubt Hammond as Loial? Because, oh my God, is the best part of the whole show.
I know. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He killed it. Yes.
I loved it.
As soon as I heard his voice, I went insane. I was like, that's Loial. I'm so happy. This is going to be great. So, yes. Overall thoughts, just give me more Loial. Anybody complaining about prosthetics, I don't care. His hair's the only thing that annoys me, but give me more Loial. Just give me Loial in every scene for the rest of the show.
Let's talk about that. No, let's talk about Loial here. I love it. By the way, do you think Valda has a Terangreal? 68% of you don't believe that's the case. But I have
a theory on that too.
Okay.
I have a theory on Valda. I think honestly, Valda can sense women who can channel. I think that that's legitimately something that he has. It kind of has a bit of a hole because of his direct encounter with Moiraine, but he might have just been fearful of Lan killing him. But my theory is like he was relentless, and he's been so successful at finding women who can channel and killing them. So I don't think he's a Forsaken. I think he just has the ability to tell if a woman has the spark in them or has the ability to channel. Maybe Moraine's found a way to mask it. I don't know, but it's just that's me.
The Moiraine one asked that question. I just threw into the chat here. How much did you like Hamed's portrayal of Loial? Loved it, liked it, meh are the options here. So I'll be interested to see how that one comes out. Matt, what did you think about Hamed Anamashan's portrayal of Loial?
So I have 2 thoughts here. The first is a plug that the Wheel of Time account on Twitter wants to get Loial trending. So everybody after the show, run to Twitter and just retweet every possible tweet you can find that has the hashtag Loial, so we can get Loial trending.
Yes, Loial trending. Account
Let's do it. Has promised to join the Watt dance party if Loial is trending. So
If
let's
Loyal
do
trends,
this.
okay.
Do,
so
do,
that's,
do this for me.
that's our goal.
Yeah.
Do it for our
Oh, give it
guest.
to-
Go on Twitter if you're on Twitter, and make sure to use the hashtag
Let's-
Loyal and
hashtag Loyal.
let the world know what you believe about Loyal. I just love Loyal. Loyal's book club is here and left a tip and just said Loyal. Yeah, no, I think he does a
He's
fantastic
just so
job.
good.
So I love his portrayal.
Oh.
The only thing that I was slightly disappointed with was his height, and I understand that having him be such an active character in the series, having him appear so frequently, limits their ability to use CGI and other prosthetics on him to make him huge. So I'm willing to let it go, but I would like Amazon to increase their FX budget so that they can do like a Gandalf Hobbits thing, so that he actually appears like he's 9 or 10 feet tall. That would be peak ideal for.
What if you saw other Ogier and he's a young Ogier that is not as tall as other Ogier? In other words, that
could make sense.
They can still play with the height as my point.
He's only 90, so he could still be growing.
I guess the point here is that the one Ogier that we see does not mean all Ogier that they will be the same height.
That's a fair point.
Everything. So
that's a fair point. It's not really a criticism.
I will admit that I'm legitimately upset I did not get more conversation with Rand and Loial, because Rand clearly told Loial about his friends and described them. I did not get that scene. I want that scene. He needs to be there.
Right. By the way, to this question, almost 600 of you voted on this question. How much did you like Hamed's portrayal of Loial? 95% of you either liked it or loved it, with 75% of you loving it. 4% of you or 5% were like, meh. That seems to try to track
they're dark friends.
According to our caller, you're all dark friends that voted meh. And Zoldan Rengar saying in the books he was shorter. I can't remember that part.
I don't remember that either. I also thought
I think it was like 8. I think it was 8 feet tall, but I'm not sure. He was taller than the rest of them.
This isn't a part that I.
He did. They did
that I tracked.
they did do the camera pointing downwards when he was talking to Rand to give the impression that from his perspective that he's looking down on Rand. So they did do that. I'm not.
Yes.
It was a minor thing. I'm not criticizing. I'm asking Amazon to increase their budget. That's all.
You can, I guess you can criticize if you'd like.
I can, but it's so minor. It's not important.
Sure. Yeah. This one, again,
yep.
I told everybody, I have a narrow group of things I care about. So you start touching on the Forsaken and I get a little bit touchy here. Well, Paul, thank you very much for calling in, man. Final note for you was this, how do you kind of order these episodes so far that you've watched as far as favorites to maybe least favorite?
Honestly, I still hold number 2 as the highest, but that's just because of Weep for Manetheren. But aside from that, the order goes 2, 5, 4, 1, and 3. So,
gotcha.
Yep.
That makes sense. Hey, thank you very much. 2, 5, 4, 1, and 3. Did you wait a second? Did you just put 3 at the end? How dare you?
Yes, I did.
That's terrible. Off with you then, Paul.
Just for you, man. Just for you.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for calling in.
Sounds like the order that you're supposed to
3 was
watch
great.
Star Wars movies.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm seeing this question coming up. Did we speculate on possibly seeing portal stones? So I've seen that question now twice. Let me ask you, do you think we saw a portal stone?
So I saw those, and I know I was kind of thinking that they were just really, really old signposts, because there were a number of them, and I didn't think there would be a signpost. Are we talking
about the thing that they walked by on the way into Tar Valon? Is that what people are mentioning?
Oh, it was my assumption. I don't know. Was there something else?
I don't know. Like, that didn't strike me as a portal stone, but
I think it's because it's a tall stone with all sorts of
with writing on it. Then yeah. I need to go back and look at it. That's I definitely need to do that. So
well, we just have to watch it again.
Okay. I'm gonna turn off the call lines. We have 5 of you waiting. We're gonna get you in here shortly. Let me read out some of the comments of those of you that have sent in comments here. Beth Weston said, where the heck is Bella? That's okay. We got to ask that question. We just had this Portal Stone question come in, so we'll ask a Bella question after this. Ask a Bella question. I've seen a lot of concerns. Are those of you in chat concerned about Bella? Are you concerned about Bella, Matt?
Bella is a smart horse, and she will find her way home.
Bella's the creator, according to some. How could we be worried about Bella? But we'll ask.
Bella is probably tracking them and waiting at a stable in Tar Valon.
Jesper just asked, how do you think they will
Bella
find
training with the
Horn
worms.
now that they won't go to the Eye of the World? I don't know that we know what they're doing. But yeah, that would suck. I don't want to lose the Horn. That's for sure. Cora Savage said, thank you for your tip. Cora said, look, I'm not a fan of Book Egwene. I have many issues with her, but dang, is Madeline changing my mind? I've heard that about so many characters. I'll ask you this here shortly. Watt Fandom, thank you very much for the tip, said if Logain did see Taviran, he actually saw not one, but two. Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Jojo B said, did Matt imagine Logain laughing maniacally at him? The scene seemed to cut to Logain resting against. I think Matt did imagine some of that, but you see that he looks up and does kind of initially smile and recognizes it. So I think that they mixed those ideas of, from his vantage point, he saw Taviran. From Matt's vantage point, you get that kind of maniacal laughing thing because Matt's in a place right now.
Yeah.
We definitely have to ask this. Layla just said the picture Moiraine looked at after Alana left. We got to ask everybody this question from Layla. What does it signify? Yeah, let's ask that question to everybody here. So let me go get this poll answered up. We'll get a new caller in. Do you think we saw a Portal Stone? Almost 500 voted. 52% said yes. It's a split poll right now. So this is not a foregone conclusion as far as Portal Stones are concerned. And then, do you think Bella will die in the TV show? How about that? There we go. We'll ask a Bella question, and we'll get our next caller into the show.
Rafe knows better than that.
Doesn't he? Yeah. Welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Grumpy Smurf.
Grumpy Smurf is on the phone.
Howdy.
How you doing, Grumpy Smurf? How are you feeling?
Everyone. A little grumpy. Grumpy.
You're grumpy. Okay, Grumpy Smurf. Let's.
I gotta say.
Yeah.
I want the books to sell. Sell the books. But this fan fiction is a little rough. It's a little rough on me.
It's been rough for you? Yeah. What's interesting is, so how many times have you gone back? I know a lot of fans have said this. I've seen you in chat, so I've heard you've seen people say this. As they've watched it a couple times, they're kind of pulling back a little bit from their book expectations and enjoying it. Have you watched it multiple times? You're still kind of in the same space as you were the first time you watched it?
Oh, yeah. I've torn them apart, trying to find Easter eggs for something to get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
But there's good parts, like good acting. Like, I love the acting.
Yeah.
Lan wouldn't cry. Loial should have big teacup-sized eyes and everything else. So that he looks like a skinwalker. And I don't want to complain too much, but buy the books, people. Buy the books.
You're grumpy. That's what you are.
I grew up with them.
Okay, Grumpy. I want to ask you. Because you said you did like the acting. Who for you has stood out as the best when it comes to actor on screen?
Well, compared to the book or just acting?
Just acting. Yeah, like what's
Rand,
kind of resonated with you?
Yeah, I think Rand captures book Rand the best. And then Matt is just the best, and then Nynaeve is awesome.
Yeah.
So those are my top ones, I guess.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. To me, that carries me through this really easily, and I feel like I'm sounding like from what you've said so far, I'm having an easier time, Grumpy. I'm not as grumpy. The performances.
I can watch it now and not get.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Sorry, go ahead.
Progress. I was gonna say the performances have carried me through. And that's, in other words, like I go back and watch, and I think these actors are owning these characters in such a way that like everything else kind of falls away for me right now, because I'm just really engaged in how they're bringing the characters to screen. So I've loved that. I'm glad. I'm glad you find.
That's for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. for anyone that thinks it's not, it certainly is. I just, if this makes sense, I've also appreciated that we do get the Easter eggs. That is not something that they have to do, right? Because let's be honest, new viewers wouldn't care. They don't know. New viewers don't give a damn about our about our Easter eggs. We're like so excited about Easter eggs.
Don't care about us book nerds.
Yeah, the new viewers don't, right? I was asking my son at the beginning of this, and he's like, "Well, I don't even know what that means. I don't know." My son really liked what the Ogier looked like, right? Like in the end of the day, new viewers are going to dominate when it comes to what they like and appreciate.
Oh yeah, and that's what I want for book sales, right?
Yeah, well, and that has actually happened. So hopefully that's made you less grumpy as we were getting more book sales. So
yeah, I was actually going to bring that point up.
Can I say one thing?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Catswain and Moiraine are the same character.
Codswain and Moiraine. You think that? Do you think they're going to merge them? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I hope not.
Well, it seems like it is just Moiraine seems more like Catswain than just plain Moiraine.
Interesting.
And I've listed my.
I'm gonna ask everybody that. I'm gonna pull that. But Matt, you were saying something. Go for it.
Oh, I was going to say to our grumpy friend over here that it should hopefully make you feel better that even though the series is not sticking as close to the books as you would like, it's going to bring a lot more people to the books.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And I love you guys.
Hey, thanks, Grumpy. Appreciate it. Appreciate you calling in, man, and sharing some of your grumpiness, but also some of the appeal so far, man. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Look at that. Even Grumpy Smurf has found some appreciation for the show. Do you think Bella will die in the TV show? Wow.
I'm very angry with
22% of you believe that.
Of you.
I can't believe that actually, because they've like Daniel Green pointed this out. They have like a page for the horses or something like that.
Right.
So that's
and Rafe has said a number of times how he knows how important Bella is to the fandom.
Yes.
So
22% of you are crazy. That's hey, my wife's in chat. Hey, Innkeeper's wife, how are you doing? I didn't notice comments. You got to like call out my name so I know you're there. That's awesome. Glad you're here. Sorry, we just had a little sentimental moment there. Connection there. So, okay, let's. Vet Flip said they did amazing in bringing Tar Valon to life. Yeah. So I want to ask about that question. By the way, these after shows is an hour of content. Hopefully you're all enjoying this. I know we do 7,000 polls. Whether you're waiting in line, or I think the 46th minute right now. We have a caller waiting. You guys are awesome. Did you like, or how about this? How do you think they did bringing Tar Valon to life? What do you think, Matt, on this question while I ask this poll? How do you think they did?
I loved it. It was great. I loved how they showed the multicultural aspect of it. I love the architecture. The books describe it. Great detail about all the Ogier made buildings, how they looked like they were alive, like there was that they looked like animals or water or foliage or whatever it was. I don't remember because it's been so long since I've read New Spring and all those details. But I think they did a phenomenal job of showing you just how important this city is culturally.
Yes,
all roads lead to Tar Valon.
I'm going to say this. I wanted to see more roads. Does that make sense? And maybe that's just like we'll come back to Tar Valon. Rafe has talked about this kind of starting like smaller and expanding and giving you an ever expanding feel for the world. So part of me was like, give me some more. I want to see some other streets, go down some other places. But yeah,
I had to laugh. I had to laugh when Rand and Matt first came and saw and looked out over the island and saw Dragonmount, because if they actually saw Dragonmount behind the city across the river, then they were on the wrong side of the river. Because Dragonmount is on the west side of the river, and so is. Sorry, I'm orienting so is Andor. Myself. They looked across the river. So
gotcha.
Tar Valon was in the middle of the river, and Dragonmount was behind it in the background.
So yes, they would have had to have crossed the river. If
Dragonmount's to the west,
they would have had to cross the river and then gone up. So yes, depending on how they were looking at it. So yeah, we don't see the horses.
No.
They sold
I
the
understand.
horses for maybe they did get on a boat. It's possible they did get on a boat actually. Now that I think about it, without their horses.
My assumption was that they did that just for the majesty of seeing the city and the mountain in the background, to give you the to give you the scope of how big Dragon Mountain is. And given that 99.9% of people watching it would have no idea that they were on the technically wrong side of the river, but I thought it was funny.
Yes. By the way, Jail Simeon, thank you very much just for the tip. Didn't ask a question. Appreciate that. Superfly just asked, said, this is a precious comment. Let me see if I can put it up on screen, everybody. This is a good comment. So we got our next caller coming in. Thank you for the callers for waiting. We will be with you here shortly. I know these after shows tend to be kind of longer to get on here. So, okay. But yes, let me just cover a couple comments that you've all sent in. We have to talk about that. I'm leaving that comment there. Ito75, thank you very much for the tip, said you see Fane in full the first time behind Rand, right after Rand walks in the inn. It's right before the whistle starts. You see him again during the whistle, but just his arm. Okay, so that's right. You're seeing him a couple times there. Mm-hmm. Deanna said, thank you very much for the tip, said, my theory the cold openings are a nod to Jordan's prologues. Is intact, almost fell apart, but then they had 1 month time jump, opening equal flashbacks and not related scenes. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, how do you think about those cold opens actually being kind of a prologue nod? I had never thought about that. I hadn't
thought about that either. I think that works out perfectly.
Okay. By the way, we're going to end this poll. Almost 600 of you voted on this one. How do you think they did bringing Tar Valon to life? 80% said it's great. 18% said it's okay. And 3% meh. So there you go. Among some hardcore fan freaks that are with us, if you're watching Amazon, fans like book fans, I'm guessing. I didn't ask. We had 20% new viewers, but I'm guessing they left when we went full book spoilers, but who knows? So yeah, that's a good one. The question we were going to ask here was cold opens. Yeah. So do you think? Here we go. Do you think the cold opens are nods to Jordan's prologues? I love that question. Let me ask that to everybody. That's a great one. Thank you very much, Deanna. Okay. Let's bring our next caller into the show. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, it's Chris, but everybody knows me as Village Mattress.
Village Mattress. Thank you very much for calling in, man. How you been?
I'm good. How are you, Matt?
It's like a Thursday night. We have a new episode. We are 5 out of 8 episodes done. That means we have 3 more hours, and then there's the long wait until season 2. So I'm living up this moment, man. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. What did you think about episode 5?
I liked episode 5. It wasn't my favorite. I kind of rank them 4, 3, 5, 2, 1.
Okay. Yeah. I think I have 5 as a third spot too.
But I very much enjoyed the episode, and it was fun. Valda was he was gripping to watch. He was it was fun. But I have a very loony theory for you.
Okay.
That goes back to episode 3.
Okay. Looney theory it is. I love it. Let's hear it.
So Lan, in that episode, takes Nynaeve a prisoner while she is holding a weapon. So she is not a wise one, a blacksmith, a child, a pregnant woman, or a woman with a child under the age of 10. So he has taken her Gaishan.
Okay, Malcurious King, what do you think about this loony theory?
I mean, if they were Aiel, that would work perfectly.
What do you think out there? Yes. What did you think about? I mean, it sounds like you liked the Whitecloak section of this one. It didn't hit you all the way. Was there something that you missed out of this episode? Something you were hoping to see but we didn't get?
it just didn't hit me as hard as the other ones. I really like Tar Valon and its portrayal. I like seeing Spain. I love seeing Loial. We got some White Tower politics, but ended. I guess ending with the funeral of Steppin. It kind of took it down a little bit. It's just one of those things. It just ended, and I know it's going to be. It was like every episode got better, and then this one kind of took a step back. So, and I kind of, I'm not trying to be a downer. I really enjoyed the episode, but I think it's kind of like they're building, and it's kind of like the later books that, that there's the myth of the slog, but we're building plot right now. So there isn't as much excitement. But I love the episode.
Yeah, I look at it this way, like the episode 4 was kind of the mid-season. And now we have a little bit of a denouement, if you will. Like it's coming back down a little bit, building again pace for what is the end of the season. That's kind of how I felt about it. And I guess, that what an amazing beat that would have been, like to get something even more in episode 5 than 4 would have been really impressive. Just how much fandom loved that previous episode. Village Mattress, totally get it. And like I said, 5 is kind of that mid one for me. Mine goes 3. I think I said 3, 4, 5, 2, 1 is kind of where I'm at. So Village Mattress, appreciate your support, man. Thanks for calling in. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, take care, Matt.
I appreciate it. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Rebecca's here.
Guys.
Welcome.
I thought I would be too late for y'all, but you're still going.
Too late.
I just popped in.
Well, we have 4 callers online. We have so many things I don't think that we've encountered yet. And there's 500 people that just voted on this latest. So people still want to talk about it. So let's keep going here. This last one, people are saying this is actually already an answer out there. Do you think cold opens are nods to Jordan's prologues? Did you hear this from Rafe that I just missed? People are saying Rafe said that they were. I don't know. Okay. Okay,
I said something about it, but maybe not quite that exact, but yeah.
Okay. This Claude Complex and Katie both think that they kind of heard that. Yeah, don't worry about having a link for it. I was just like, oh, I'd love to hear that. But yeah, interesting thought that he was already there. Okay, Rebecca, we've kind of touched on lots of things, not everything. So the one I want to bring up to you, which is a comment that we got from fans out there. Layla brought this up. The picture Moiraine looked at after Alana left, what does it signify? I think we saw it in the teaser, didn't we? She goes up to the wall, and then we see this picture again. What are your guesses on what this might signify?
This was one of the little details in this episode that I truly I really don't know what that is. I mean, I think there was someone in white, like a figure in white. Am I right about that? I don't know if you guys saw that.
I don't know.
It was so far away, like you don't really get a good look at it. I thought maybe there were 2 figures in it, but and maybe one of them was wearing white, but I just watched it and didn't get to go back and look at that again. So I don't know.
Yeah. Now I want to go find this thing. Matt, do you have any concept of what this might be?
Yearbook photos.
Last night we asked everybody what could this possibly be. I think people said they liked it as a location where maybe she stashes Terangreal or Angreal or notes. I love that one of the ones that people brought up was this is where she has a list of the candidates for the Dragon Reborn that she's been tracking. I was like, well, why not?
Does she somehow get messages from eyes and ears? That doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense, but she brought up her eyes and ears. I don't know.
She did today, and I liked that. Have we heard that comment yet in the show, eyes and ears? Has that been a comment?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was like, I don't recall them actually saying that. So by the way, one second, I'm going to try to show this for everybody. You might not be able to hear this, but hopefully you two can see this. I'm looking for there it is. Okay. Oh, I blew past that. Sorry, everybody. This is on yesterday's. This is the thing we're talking about. And let me show it to you. Yeah. This is the one we get from this trailer. And then we see it in this episode here. I like the words over this. It's all right to be afraid. Oh, that's kind of ominous in this moment. It's like, what could Moiraine be afraid of as she opens this? You know, I love kind of connecting these words to what we see on the screen. So I like that idea. So I have been watching chat to see what people think. Sam B, she's reminiscing on Swan. Okay. So she did Moiraine. People are saying she did say eyes and ears to Nynaeve. Okay. I'm trying to think like notes to and from Swan, you know? Okay. People are tying this to somehow. I thought it looked like Moiraine. Why would she keep a picture of Swan in a room others can look in? Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting,
maybe it was a gift from Swan.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That's a good theory. That's a good theory. That's a gift from Swan. That's really good. Okay. This is a good one too to bring up while we're talking about relationships or potential. Did you both notice that like moment with Liandrin? I was kind of creeped out a little bit by it. I was a little bit creeped out. Connor said definitely communication with Swan there. What do we think because I see a comment from Anas. What do we think the Amyrlin was doing in Camelin? So we'll get back to that here. So what do you think about that, Rebecca, that touch that you see Liandrin do on her hair?
Definitely seems like it can't be accidental. Like there was, that was very friendly.
That was very
but
friendly
also
and
creepy. And
it was creepy.
Alarming.
Yes. It was definitely creepy. Matt, I'm seeing you shake your head. Are you in the creepy zone with this one?
A little bit, yes. But no, I just saw in chat, Bobbin said that it's a medicine chest. She was looking for an aspirin.
Exactly.
Which, after her conversation with Alana, not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I saw, wasn't it that in the descriptions, now I need somebody who needs to go get this for me. I thought in the character descriptions, in the Explore,
I think that's right.
This? And you have to, how do we find Liandrin in here, everybody? If someone want to tell me how to go find Liandrin in the, I don't know how to use the X-ray bonus
in the red
content.
section of the White Tower.
What's that?
I said she's in the red section of the White Tower.
Okay, but how do you find the White Tower in this thing? That's
that
part I
don't know.
Real
life. I don't know about.
Oh, yeah. So organizations, there we go. Maybe it's an Aes Sedai, maybe.
Yeah. No.
I can't find it, everybody. So I thought there was something. If those of you can find it, I thought there was something on Liandrin's description of Liandrin. I don't know.
I think it is there. I don't know how to get
There's
there.
There's a description that does kind of, I thought, insinuate something like that. Like maybe there was.
They were once close, I think, is basically what it says. Yeah, I think they use the word close, which is interesting.
But Joshua Herndon said Moiraine, Liandrin, pillow friends as accepted. That's where he's going. Kyrie and are quite randy and private. Wow. Okay.
Well, that's true.
Okay.
That's not false.
Okay. With that thought, let's bring our next caller into the show. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Aubrey.
Aubrey, well, thank you very much for being on hold for so long. Sorry it took us so long to get you into the show. What are you thinking tonight? Why'd you call? What question do you have for us?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. But Liandrin that you're talking about right now, what I was thinking was the touch to me was very, as she had just spoken with Nynaeve before about how, men still had power and kind of alluding to some abuse as a young, powerful girl coming up. I felt in that moment, because we know that Moiraine actually came from a highborn life and house, and Liandrin didn't. So in that moment, just that juxtaposition of knowing that Moiraine is one of the most powerful women in there, but it was kind of this like nod, like the creepy nod to that closeness and power that's like, I have the right to do this, or taking that right to do this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of got that.
Yeah, like she crossed some boundaries too in that moment. Even though she was calling out.
Yeah, but like giving herself the right to do so, while still kind of seeing the struggle of like not wanting to be the wild or lowly one,
Sure.
I think that it was a
yeah.
nice juxtaposition.
Yeah, really interesting one between all those comments that she was making, the story she was telling, and then what she was doing. Almost like Liandrin's at odds with herself in her, which would not surprise me. Or are you surprised, Aubrey, how much they've focused on Alana telling Moiraine that Liandrin is gaining traction? Did that allude to you anything about? Do you like this theory at all that maybe Liandrin will somehow take over Elida's role or merge with Elida's role, or do you think you see something else in the future with this kind of gaining traction?
I definitely was thinking that when they said that and hoping. I mean, I just feel like Alana or Liandrin and Elida need to be two different people because they hold a different type of role and place in the book. But that comment definitely kind of was pushing that a little bit, I feel. I mean, I guess we'll see how it all plays out. But I am liking how they're bringing Liandrin in and love to hate her. Another thing I really wanted to ask about, or just somebody said earlier something about Valda and the possibility theorizing that maybe he could be a Forsaken in disguise or what he is. And I just wanted to say a couple things about that. First of all, if he is the Forsaken in disguise, why would it make sense for him to just kill Aes Sedai rather than try to bring them over to the dark? Like, to me, that didn't quite make, like, at least to try first, not just be straight out, I'm going to kill you. But secondly, the idea that maybe he, if not an Ashaman or somebody that can channel, is somebody who has the power, would track on this kind of, horrible religious zealot kind of guy who is, the whipping of itself, like that tracks in even the Seanchan vibe, So some of that, like, I have some of the power, so I'm going to hate everybody who has any ounce of it, which was freaky and amazing, by the way that whole everything played out.
Yeah, I love how the Whitecloaks, I again, as a book reader, as much as I didn't like the build up to the Perrin and Egwene kind of getting there eventually, when the Whitecloaks have them and the whole escaping the Whitecloaks, that I loved that section of the books, and I appreciate that we got a portion of that here in the storyline to kind of start us down that road with Perrin and Golden Eyes, right? We finally got Golden Eyes and how exciting was that? So, Aubrey, thank you so much. I have to ask you, favorite episode so far in the first 5? What's it been?
Gosh, I would probably put 4 and 5 in the same-ish area. I just wanted to say one more thing about Lan too, the very end.
Go ahead.
I know that when they said that he was feeling the grief for all, I just really, to me, I broke down, and I just want to say that all of us, including all of the cast, has gone through the same thing in the past 2 years. And the reality that the one person who is the most stoic would be, releasing for everybody in this show, to me, was just an example of what art is for. I mean, art, what else is art for but to connect to the world as it is now and speak to the heart of what's going on. And I was super moved by Lan kind of doing that for all of us.
That's a great thought as far as they picked who they picked for it. And I know it didn't sit right with some fans out there, but I love what you've added to that kind of overall symbolism of that moment. Hey, thank you very Aubrey for holding online and for calling in. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good night.
Bye.
Yeah. What for you? I have to ask you, Rebecca. I didn't get to ask you. Favorite moment in episode 5.
Yeah, I mean, that at the end was definitely up there. I'd been so intrigued by that moment, where Lan breaks down in the trailer, because I'm like, this was a mystery to me. Like, of all the things out there, I was like having the hardest time figuring out what that would be. And then after episode 4, I did think that that could be Steppin dying, because they had built up that relationship.
Yeah.
But it was really powerful. So that was great. I did love meeting Loial too, because I'd been really anticipating that also. Like, I couldn't wait for that. So.
Yep. Yeah. Loial's moment, but going back to Steppin and Lan, I love what Aubrey said to that moment. Not only just the grief that they were feeling, or the grief of that particular moment, the grief of those watching, but just the grief of the last 2 years. I hopefully Daniel Henney hears that comment someday, and hopefully takes that to heart. Totally deserved. So, by the way, Rant Almore sent me this. If you go look up Liandrin's page, it says Liandrin, an Aes Sedai of the Red Aja, who specializes in finding men who can channel and gentling them, severing their connection to the One Power. She has a complex relationship with Moiraine. Long ago, they were close. There you go. Long ago, Liandrin and Moiraine were close. So take that touch to her ear as you will, I guess. This is the image that you were talking about. Thank you very much. Wheel Up Time brought this to. Let me see if I can't show you this. So there's the image. Why isn't it doing that? Oh, I know why it's not doing that. So let me open that image up. But yes, that's the image you were talking about. And let me do that again in a way that we can actually zoom in. That'd be nice. And we'll get up close to that image that you were talking about, Rebecca, of what you see here. Here we go, everybody. So there you go.
Oh, I think it's a window, not a person in white.
There's a person in there, and then
there is a person.
And there, almost like that's a window.
I think it is.
Interesting. It has the same kind of shape. The other window has the same shape as whatever this doorway. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever you see there. Interesting. You do, I don't know. It's hard to tell what color dress this is. You do get some brown hair. I don't know. This is a portrait that someone's done of Moiraine. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's.
It's definitely, I mean, it's a woman in a dark dress. And what I thought was also a person in a white dress is a window. So, yeah.
Crazy Cat Lady said, "Ooh, that's a picture of Moiraine going through the doorway." Yeah. Grevelane said it's a portrait of herself when she was younger. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Someone else said that. Oh yeah, I thought it might be an Aes Sedai looking at Dragonmount from the White Tower, but no, I don't see that in there. Interesting. Looks like a woman with her hair up, not Swan. I think there'll be a comment that Swan is a painter. Okay, so that Swan painted this. That's an interesting theory.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
Thank
you very much.
Headski in chat says it's from Suan. It's titled Fish Guts.
I love it. Thank you very much. Anas just had made a comment earlier saying, what do we think that Amyrlin was doing in Caemlyn? So I missed that comment clearly. Was that a comment that Moiraine made?
Alana was talking about how they had just been summoned and the Amyrlin was coming back from Caemlyn.
Was coming back from Caemlyn, yeah. So Caemlyn gets a shout out.
Yes, we know it exists.
There you go. They just flipped it. Like the Amyrlin was actually in Tar Valon, and they were in Caemlyn, and instead they flipped this one, and the Amyrlin was in Caemlyn. So theories there, Matt. Yeah. What do you think the Amyrlin was doing in Caemlyn?
What does the Amyrlin do whenever she goes somewhere? She's meeting with the queen.
And maybe bringing back some people with her.
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah. Do we think that we're gonna get? Are we going to see? Do we want to say Elida? Elida, Elaine, or Gawain? I mean, I guess. Do we know that?
I thought that Elaine was announced for season 2.
Was she?
Agreed.
Is that
yeah?
What's is that? Hold on. Kira. Was that Kira?
Yeah.
Kira Company. So Elaine wouldn't fit in there. So I guess we wouldn't probably see Gawain there.
I don't think she'd bring back Elida without Elaine.
Right.
Yeah, she wouldn't leave that. Okay, you're right. not a worthwhile poll to ask, I don't think. There you go, everybody. You didn't get like a lazy poll out of that one. Thanks for talking me down there, you both. Okay, so let's go back to Rant Al Moore's question. The monuments around, we asked this kind of portal stone. Did you like this idea, Rebecca, that maybe they were giving us a portal stone, or do you think that was just a stone, if you will?
I did, as I was watching them, I was thinking that it did look like portal stones because they were sort of weathered and there was like some symbols on them. The only thing that was really missing as far as the book description was there wasn't any sense of like the colors around the base.
Right.
But otherwise, it did kind of look like it. But I mean, it was interesting though because they were showing like each group as they were getting near Tar Valon, like going by one of these, and so either there's like a bunch of portal stones around Tar Valon, or else it's just some sort of marker for the city, I guess. But they did look like it.
Yeah. That's one interesting. I feel like it was almost like a nod to it, but wasn't it? It was like, yes, you're gonna get portal stones. Will we get Caemlyn in season 2? There's your question. I feel like there's all the fans in chat are like, we're here for the polls, so give us some more polls. So here you go. I will ask that one. Will we see Caemlyn in season 2? That's what I want to know, everybody. Dragon Down said there were 3 stone pillars. I think I'm with Lanier here. Those are probably signposts, but I do not disagree with the idea that they were meant to kind of make us go, what's that? Maybe a portal stone's in our future. Okay, let me bring in our last 3 callers, by the way, for the night. These are the 3 callers. You all have been wonderful. Matt, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say the thing that makes me think that they're not portal stones is that the portal stones didn't have the old tongue written on them. They had runes that represented different worlds or different stones within the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, again, they could be changing that up for the show. Who knows? That's one of the great things about these things. Is it a change or is it something else?
Mm-hmm.
I totally believe that, like Marissa just said here, I think Rafe is like, everyone chill, you'll get your portal stones. That's what I think it is. That's what I'm hoping it is. Let's be honest. I tend to like portal stones. So there you have your poll there. A minute, almost 300 of you voted on this, or over 300 have voted. Will we get Caemlyn in season 2? 81% think we're going to Caemlyn. Okay.
Oh,
what do you think? Do you think we're going to Caemlyn, Rebecca, in season 2?
I actually don't necessarily think we are. I mean, I think we obviously we know we're going to get some of those Caemlyn characters, but I don't see any reason why they couldn't just introduce those characters in Tar Valon. So I'm not sure what we would actually need to go to Caemlyn for.
The Dusty Wheel.
Because it's
yes. I mean, we could just spend the whole season in the Dusty Wheel.
Yeah,
Look,
let's just stop by Caemlyn for a moment.
I mean, I think maybe you're just like angling for a part in the show. Like, let's hurry up and get to the Dusty Wheel so that I can just,
This is, I'm not an actor, that's for sure. They'd be like,
but you're just playing yourself. Like, you don't have to,
Oh, what you're saying is when someone comes in the door, be like, it's time for another poll. And like, there you go. Right.
Yeah. Or just,
Can you imagine just somebody going around to tables? Like, I have a question for you.
Yes. Give me your thoughts on Elida.
Ooh, amateur music video in chat. Hey, amateur music video has a great question. Will this season incorporate the search for the horn and Kalendor? Wait, in this season? I wonder if
maybe they mean
season 2?
Season 2, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so this one, almost 400 voted. Will we get Caemlyn in season 2? 81%. I don't feel like that was like an exciting enough poll for people. I felt like that was not exciting enough answers there, people. So I have to ask this one, like, how upset would you be, Matt, if we didn't get the Horn of Valir? Like, would it upset you if we didn't get the Horn of Valir and the search for it, the hunt?
I think it would definitely take something away from it. I was angling for them to change it to the kazoo of Valir because there's no way that somebody who's never played a horn before can get like a pure sound out of a horn the first time they blow it.
It's a magical horn.
Yeah, I can live in a world where there's magic. I can't live in a world where somebody can blow a horn.
You draw the line there.
Like that completely shatters my suspension of disbelief.
Okay, everybody.
So let's definitely not
putting you on the line here. Would you stop watching the show if we don't get it? That's the question. Rebecca, would you stop watching the show if we don't get the Horn of Valyr?
No, I'm not going to stop watching the show. Okay. Definitely not. But I mean, yeah, I would miss it because I feel like, there's lots of reasons why. I mean, we want some heroes of the Horn, right? Like, I need my Brigitte, So
I know. Well, you got her in like form of.
Yeah, the doll was quite
you got the doll.
cute, but I would like a real one.
I got you. No, I agree. I think that was a clear setup, right?
Yeah.
Matt and Brigitte, that's a clear setup. Logain and Nynaeve, clear,
Yeah.
Like these connections they keep on giving us in the show, clear setups. So
yes.
Let me bring in our third to last caller of the night. Welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Ice Queen on Miami from Twitter.
Ice Queen of Miami. Thank you very much for being here with us. What's your question or thought?
Well, I had a couple of thoughts. My first one on the interaction between Loial and Rand.
Okay.
Are we not going to talk about how underwhelming Rand's response was to being called an aleman like 4 times? He just was like, no, you're mistaken, you're mistaken.
Yes. I loved how Loial kept on saying stuff like, an Aileman who doesn't know he's an Aileman from the Two Rivers or whatever.
That was
every
funny.
time.
Who's going to deny he's an Aileman from Two Rivers?
Like, you
was
humans
not
are
shaken.
funny. He would not. Oh, yes. Sorry. I was about to say, like, they got him, so they did that so well. But anyways, go on.
They really did. His pacing and his connotations and the way he spoke, his voice was perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. Costuming, the hair is bothering everybody, but I'm just going through teenage rebellion phase with that hair.
I'm hearing some hair angst out there among fandom. We always have to have something.
It looks like they stuck a Brillo pad on top of his head, but I have a teenage boy, and sometimes his hair looks like that too. So 90 is 19; it's the same thing.
Yes, 19.
And then my other thought was with Nynaeve channeling.
Yeah.
I think we've seen her channel twice before.
Okay.
At least in the very first episode, when Egwene does the river scene, she cuts her arm open. You can see the blood on her right arm, on her forearm. And then the next scene, you see that arm. It's just a scar. Someone healed it.
Okay. Okay.
They very obviously zoom in on that scar.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And the second time is when she's fighting the Trolloc. My daughter actually pointed this one out. In the water, she's got what looks like almost steam coming up around her, just white tendrils. But there's none around the Trolloc.
Interesting. Okay. Now I got to go back and watch it. Now I got to go.
Both times they zoom in on her in the water. There's like almost like a white tendril coming up out of the water. It could be steam, but there's none around the Trolloc.
Okay. Have we seen?
Which is a bigger object and should give more body heat.
Okay. Would you stop watching the Wheel of Time if we don't? The Horn of Valyr. I didn't even know.
We're gonna get the horn. It's not.
I did a Dusty Wheel post there. No one made fun of me for that one. Surely people were making fun of me for that one. So I just missed it clearly. You're welcome, everybody. Let's ask this one: have we seen Nynaeve channel before basically the end of episode 4? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's ask that question. Yeah, and shame on you guys for not making fun of me for that last poll. Those of you in chat, unless you did, and I just missed it. So yeah, I love that.
And then watching the episode with 2 people who've never read the books. So I've got 2 teenagers who've never read the book. This episode was not for us. It was not for the book fans. It was for the non-reader fans. They're more invested in Steppin than we are because he's 5 minutes in the books if he's even there.
I'm invested.
But
in
his grief. I loved him too, but we all knew what was going to happen. Let's be honest.
Yes.
His grief and just that ups and downs that we went through in this episode. Egwene with the scene with the Whitecloaks and them scrubbing her down. Like, it was just a barrage of different layers of emotion in this episode. Not action, but emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, like I said, I think you're right with this. My son, who is a never reader, a new viewer, this is his favorite episode. He really loved this episode a lot. So that seems to kind of resonate. I was actually surprised that this was his favorite out of all of them, and he actually doesn't like episode 3. Episode 3 is his least favorite, and that one strikes me as so book heavy and So yeah, that's a good point, by the way. I have to. About 300 people have voted. Have we seen Nynaeve channel? You kind of have people conflicted here. It's 52% say yes, 48% said no, of about 300 votes. So yeah, that's an interesting question. I want to ask that to you, Matt. Yes or no? Have Nynaeve channeled? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I would say yes.
Okay. Rebecca, has Nynaeve channeled in that we've seen before the end of episode 4?
So my only issue is like, because I was thinking yes, but like Moiraine has that whole like scene with her in the in that pool area, and like, wouldn't she have been able to tell if she had already channeled at that point? Like, so then why is she talking about her healing as like her first channeling? So I'm going to have to say no, even though when Nynaeve was telling that Breakbone fever story, I thought it was leading to like, oh, she had channeled.
I thought too. Yeah,
but no,
she was holding her hand so tightly, and you know, we in the stories we know that that's what she unconsciously channeled for the first time.
Yes, but they seem to change it up and make it about Egwene, and I still am just like, I feel like Moiraine should know if she had channeled. I don't know.
Yeah, the awareness or lack of that one has.
But
that one.
The only problem with that is she's been listening to the wind forever, and if she's teaching Egwene to listen to the wind, then she has to have been channeling subconsciously, because if not, she couldn't listen to the wind.
So also the other thing is that someone, a woman who can channel, can sense the ability in someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So she wouldn't necessarily sense that Nynaeve has or has not channeled. She would sense that Nynaeve has the ability to channel.
Okay.
Maybe. I can go with that explanation.
Which might be why she was questioning her so much in the pool.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good interpretation of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, you have someone. James Alexander said this was the best episode just because it has real dialogue and longer scenes. Yeah, that might be, I think, what my son liked about it too. Thank you so much for calling, and appreciate that, Ice Queen. I'll leave you with this. 51% say we have seen Nynaeve channel before the end of episode 4. Just about 400 votes on that one. So thank you very much for bringing that to the table, and I appreciate hearing from you. Give us a call again, okay?
All right, y'all have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. Yeah, that the whole like when Nynaeve is channeled and has she channeled, that's where I want like, okay, Rafe, sit down, and let's talk about this.
Yeah.
The book fans really want to know this question or this answer. Like I said, we have 2 more callers here, and I don't think hopefully I didn't miss any of you that kind of sent comments in. What do you think about this theory? It's a loony theory that I think, I want to say Jojo B threw this in. Min becoming a warder. Do you like this? Oh, Rebecca, it seems like you like that idea.
I think I saw this from Jojo B on Twitter, and yes, I do like
it. Do you think Min will become a warder in the TV show? Matt, do you like this idea?
It's a cool idea. I would be down for it. I don't think they're necessarily going to go that direction, because her fighting style is a lot more self-protective than protecting somebody else. But they certainly could do it. I wouldn't put it past them. Let me put it this way.
I just think she basically is a warder to Rand. Like, you know, like, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I think she is Rand's warder. So
yeah, she definitely turns into that towards later on in the series.
Yeah, I agree with this. Tad said Warderman is a fun theory, but no, she's an eyes and ears person. Yeah, I like Min has that more so. I don't think they're going to go there, but it's a fun loony theory. I love it. Okay, let's bring our second to last caller to the show. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Hi, this is Katie.
Katie, welcome. Thank you for calling. And what's your question or thought you wanted to share with us?
So I guess I had 1 or 2 things. Okay. So I had latched onto the portal stones like pretty much right on in the episode, and after I finished watching, I like went back through and looked at it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's the old tongue, but and I did some translation from the wiki, and it
Nice.
seems like it's just a fancy signpost, unfortunately.
There you go. I like
Look at
it.
you go.
You
It's awesome.
called in to debunk the idea. You did the research. That is that's impressive. That I think that deserves a mug. So you should call me. You should write us over on Discord after this. Let me know that you were the one that debunked the fact that you actually looked up the old tongue and wanted to figure out if that was. Yeah, I appreciate that. That kind of devotion as a fan. So please do. If you don't want to receive a Dusty Wheel mug, you don't have to. But if you would like to, like I said, just reach out to me on Discord or on social media and let me know, and I'd love to get you a mug.
Oh, thanks.
That is awesome, I have to say.
Yeah.
we all over here. I'm of the brown, Aja, and so I appreciate that kind of geekiness. What's your favorite theory so far that you actually have heard of the show that hasn't been debunked yet?
I'm not sure. I have to think, because it originally was the Layla Dark friend theory, but that one's kind of been sort of debunked. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
So Layla Darkfriend, and for those of you that don't know what we're talking about at this point, the idea was that Layla, because when Perrin kills her, she's kind of holding the hammer back behind her head, and people were thinking maybe she was Darkfriend. Then I think Sarah Nakamura, the Wheel of Time TV consultant, posted on Twitter, like kind of laugh out loud about all these Layla Darkfriend theories. She was just kind of in the moment and adrenaline and was rushing over to help. And then Helena Westerman, who plays Layla, actually wrote like, yep, no dark friend here. But then of course fans were like, well, of course a dark friend's not going to admit to being a dark friend. So Layla Darkfriend, honestly, I think will live on for a long time.
And Sarah didn't actually come out and say straight out that she's not a dark friend. She gave a very Aes Sedai answer about it.
She did. By the way, Rebecca's like, no. Rebecca's
She's not a dark friend.
She's not
No.
a dark friend. Don't stop. So yeah, no.
I'm
I
Team
get it.
Layla, so
Well, thank you, by the way, for waiting to tell us of your discovery that you've found so far. Is it important to you that Portal Stones do end up in the TV show?
I think so, because it's just like the whole, especially when Rand like tries to teleport them. I think it's in the Great Hunt that happens. And then they have the whole flicker of like Rand seeing all these like possibilities of their lives, and it's just like such a great moment. And I would love to see that and other things like that in the show. It would just be really great to see. So
yeah, flicker I want to see happen, especially with the promise of what Matt and Rand's conversation. I loved that conversation. It just gives me flicker vibes. Now I want to see an actual scene of that. So hopefully Rafe has plans to give us something along those lines. That's my hope. Hey, thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate that, and have a good evening. And don't forget, reach out to me, like I said, on Discord. If any of you want to join us on Discord, you can. The link is in the description of this video. It's but yeah, just please go there, or just catch us here at the Dusty Wheel on social media and just reach out, and we'll make sure you get a mug.
Okay, thanks. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's fun to give away mugs. Now everyone's gonna be like, I translated. Like lead with a translation. Someone's gonna be like, not even like someone's just gonna call in and be like, I did this thing. And we're all gonna be like, cool. Yeah, I totally believe that. What do you think of this? Vet Flips, thank you very much for the tip. Ask this, and I'll go to you, Rebecca. Overall rating so far for the series. We have 5 episodes. Where are you at right now?
I mean, like, we're like rating out of 10 or something like that?
If you want to go on a 10 scale, you can. If there's a different scale you want to, that you kind of feel like you want to give, you can do that. But yeah, that was the 10 scale they threw into chat, or some people were, but you don't have to go on that scale if you just want to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really enjoying the show so far, because, I mean, for me, I think you were saying this earlier, Matt, like it's all about the characters, really. Like, are the characters coming through, and they are and even like getting more invested in some characters that I, either didn't particularly like in the books or just didn't exist really. I mean, yeah, like I think it's like a solid like 9 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah. I got it. What do you think? Where are you at on this, Matt?
I'm way up there. I was trying to think of a different scale to rank this on. But I can't think of any TV shows that I've hated so much that I've absolutely refused to watch them anymore. I was trying to think of like from a scale of a TV show that I absolutely hated and couldn't even watch past like the first episode to Chuck, which I absolutely love and have watched like I've watched the entire series.
I love your scale, by the way.
I don't even know how many times I've watched the whole series of Chuck because that's how much I love it. This is like a Chuck. Like I'm going to be watching and rewatching this. Like, so
definitely.
Okay, yeah. So rewatchability,
very high.
Well, okay, so I'll give my rating. I want to ask that question here. We'll bring our last caller in. Do you think Min will become a warder in the TV show? 82% of you, 400 of you voted, said no. I want to ask about rewatchability because that is one thing I actually agree with. Do you think this TV show has rewatchability? I'm not sure that's a word, but we're going to go with it. You all understand what it means. Yeah, I want to go to that. I think my overall rating so far for the first 5 episodes is in that kind of 8 range. That's where I'm at. And I think that is really good. And I'm hopeful. Like, okay, so set me up. Now give me the very end. Like but I think rewatchability, 100%. Like, it is something that as a book fan, I'm so excited to kind of pick up an episode, listen for whistles, listen for noises. There's a moment in this one where Nynaeve is talking to, I think is she talking to Steppin? I can't remember what it is. I thought I heard wolves, but then I was wondering if I heard a crowd actually booing Logain. And Taylor thinks I'm just hearing wind and I'm just making stuff up. But the fun about that is I want to go back and listen to it again. And I want to know because they've done a really great job of adding these little kind of things for us to go back and find and for new viewers to go back and notice things the second time through. Like if you go read the books after, like if you watch this for the first time and then you go read like the first 2 books and you come back and watch it, you will notice. Then you go back and read the books again, you will notice, like, again, it's that kind of re-experience, or that's kind of a new experience thing that we have as book readers that I think just is done really, really well. So it 100%, this is something that, and I know the 3 of us will be talking about this for the next many years anyway. But I can't wait till we're digging into these so deep that we were like, no. At minute 5 and second 3, when Steppin takes a step toward whatever, we're gonna be like, no, I saw on his foot that it had this symbol. There's gonna be stuff like that. We're gonna do it.
Definitely,
it's just gonna happen. Over 300 of you voted, 96% so far. Yes, it has rewatchability. Absolutely, 4% don't, and that's okay if you don't think it does. But that is, I think, the experience that I've seen so far. Okay, let me bring our last caller in, and then I want to go back to both of you and see if there's anything else in the people in chat. Is there something we missed? I know we have not covered this. This is like, I always think of these after shows, this one we do. It's just like the first cut of like, and then it's going to be all the stuff that we missed afterwards. But let me bring in our last caller here. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Hey guys, it's me, Art.
Art, hey man, how you doing? Welcome.
What you up to, guys?
You're the last caller. We're having a good evening. I'm assuming you've seen episode 5, right? What are your thoughts about episode 5?
I think it's your voice right now.
What have you thought?
I actually went back and watched it while the show was on.
Did you?
I loved it. I thought it was slower. I thought it gave us a lot of beats. I loved it. I'm probably going to watch it again afterwards.
Yeah, it is. I know some people said it was a fast episode. To me, it did go by fast. If that makes sense. Like I remember turning to Taylor and I was like, we're 37 minutes into this thing already. Like, how do we get there? And I was like, oh shoot, that means this thing is ending so quick. But yeah, I thought it was a slow episode. I thought they took their time with this one, which I really appreciated.
Yeah. After the climax of the last episode 4, I think we need this to kind of build up and add depth of flavor, I guess, you know?
And I like that it didn't rush us through Tar Valon, right? Yeah. They're like, the Amyrlin's coming back, you know? Like, there's stuff that's still going on here, and we still haven't, everyone hasn't, you know, found each other. You know what I mean? We have this kind of anticipation, like we're not rushing through, which I really appreciated too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I recall any time, like, real on-the-ground time in Tar Valon that I can, you know, oh, we went to an inn here. We went to, it just escapes me, moments like that in the books. But, you know, I loved it in the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I did want to ask you, though, from a kind of highlight moment of this episode, you've now seen it twice. What's been your favorite as you went back the second time? Did it change, or was it the same thing you just liked even more this time?
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff that, I mean, a lot of the stuff that just piqued my interest were, of course, like Easter egg stuff and or theory-driven things. But I because it's a quiet episode, I did keep on lingering back to, you know, people kind of complaining about all the Warder stuff. I really appreciate that slower building understanding of the Warder relationship, and you know, strangely enough, like it's like the stuff like Maxim and was it Tomas? You know, exchange little barbs.
Yvonne.
Yeah.
Oh, Yvonne. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Little barbs while they're dressing Steppin. That stuff like that, like, you know, really, you know, piques my interest because, like, I don't know, to a deeper point, like there's some complaints from, I guess you could call it Haterville or whatever, that the show's trying to be woke or whatever, but. You know, as a gay man, I appreciate those little nods, and I appreciate that it's not overdone, and I appreciate that it's not like, you know, so perfectly portrayed. I mean, there is some, you know, some still awkwardness around these subject matters, and me and my fiance were, you know, really enjoyed those kind of things. Like I think Steppin was saying, like, well, I guess once I'm bonded to Alana, I'm gonna have to get used to being with a man, and me and my fiance were like, that's not how it works. Like, generally speaking, you don't just become gay.
Lan added in. Well, Lan added in. He goes, no, like 2 men. That's what Lan said too. Yeah, there's a funny conversation with him, like you said. Something really human, I guess, came out in this episode. And last 2 episodes, I think.
Yeah, those are some great moments. I really enjoyed about this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. No, those are good call outs. So for you, at least, do you have before we let you go, Art, is there an enduring theory that's come to you either from watching this episode or just over the last 5 episodes that you're holding on to tightly now that you've seen 5 hours of the first season?
All right. I actually just kind of bandied about a theory in chat earlier about Egwene possibly being, this is like a version of her being forced. You know, Valda has her torturing Perrin, and he's actually like, this is like step 1 of forcing Egwene into her strength. Because if you guys might notice a subtle thing that happened when she did her channel, she split her flow. And that's supposed to be really complicated for those who are, you know, into the books. Like, she split a flow to distract him with one flow, and then actually burnt off Perrin's bond, like going some roundabout way to flow. You know, I don't know why she was trying to hide it, but maybe she suspected Valda could see her flows. But that was really interesting. So I'm just kind of going, is this going to lead us to like a foreshadowing of what happens to her with the Shan-Chan, or are we going to get the Shan-Chan when we think we are?
Yeah,
that's kind of one of my little.
I want to ask that question. Yeah, so almost 5 million voted on this one. Do you think this TV show has rewatchability? 96% said yes. And yeah, a good call out on the splitting the flows. And does this, you know, do you think we'll just say, do you think Egwene will still be captured by the Shan-Chan? I can say that. We'll say it that way. Yeah, that's a good question because this does have a little bit of that, right? What's interesting is it almost is setting a foundation. And I didn't think about this when you get it in the book, I didn't think about it that way, but I see it much more. I don't know if it's just the visceral nature of seeing what happened to them here versus kind of having the reader experience, but I never saw that as a building a foundation for the Shan moment because that moment's there in the books too. It's just
violated there. Like a lot of people mentioned that this is a violation of both of those characters. And what happens to her with the Shan this is almost a precursor to what's going to happen to her.
Yes, and that's I think that's true, and it looks like everyone's voting on that in that same vein. But yeah, that's good point to bring up, and I think noticing the split weaves there and kind of maybe some of her other talents that we know that she becomes good at because of these events. That's interesting as far as building out the character that we have in Egwene. So. Hey, Art, thank you very much for calling in, man. Appreciate your thoughts, and thanks for being our last caller tonight.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
See you.
Absolutely, guys. See you next time.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, we have a couple things to do here. I've seen a lot of comments. I saw a user, I think it was his name, Alan or something, joined, and he just watched, and he thought it was the weakest episode. Yeah, it's interesting, just the variety of reactions from fans in this one. I know people that think it's the best, second best, third best, fourth best, and it's their weakest one. I think this happens in the books all the time. Rebecca, like for you, who did you want to skip when you read them in the books?
Oh, well, none of the major characters
Elaine.
really.
It was Elaine, wasn't it?
No, I'm not even. I mean, maybe like a bath chapter or something here and there, but like, no, not any of the major characters. I wanted to skip when there were like sea folk involved.
The sea folk stuff for you, Matt?
Didn't really do it for me.
I don't know. For my first several read-throughs, I didn't skip anything, but by like my 12th read-through already, I would very quickly skim through like the Fael arc, the kidnapping arc with the Shido and Elaine with the war of
the succession.
Yeah. So it's like, things like that. I would very quickly skim through because I knew what was happening and it was not very important and did not really draw me in. So I can understand that.
But I get that with like the way that these episodes and how people feel about these episodes, it's to me, it's going to be the things that mean the most to you in the show or the books, and sometimes in the show that either stand out or don't. Like for me, that's why episode 3 is my favorite. The Adventures of Matt and Rand will always be just something I loved, and so seeing that on screen was just awesome.
It was a great episode.
Yeah, I loved it. So totally get that it just doesn't, the vibe doesn't hit everybody the same way. Almost 350 of you voted this one. Do you think Egwene will still be captured by the Shan? Yes, 95% of you basically do. So, but I saw someone ask this in chat about the Shan in season 2. There was in my interview with Marcus, he mentioned the name Shan, and maybe like he suggested, people were like, I don't remember the exact quote, but suggested that they were that maybe people thought that would maybe season 1, could be season 2, depends on where they would put it. But sounds the name Shan exists in the canon of our conversations now, which is not that we thought it wouldn't. it's like it wasn't a huge surprise. It's like Shan, really? They're gonna have the Shan in this show. That's fascinating. It's like yeah, like we all knew it was gonna happen. It's just like, oh, okay, cool. We know it's gonna happen.
Just imagine them cutting out that entire Shan arc.
No.
Yes, right. No, it's not going to happen.
Who's not going to marry?
So I want a good poll to end us off here. I'm going to go through some things I want to remind people that are happening. Talk to you, Rebecca, about whatever you have coming up, because I know you've been breaking down everything and having fun with that. So I want to point this out tomorrow. Our friends at Takaranrian, look at you guys. Big news, Twitter of Time. We're hosting this Friday's official The Wheel of Time Twitter watch party. Start episode 5 at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and watch this space for our insightful commentary about Tinkers, the Tower, and Tar Valon. Make sure to share yours too using hashtag Wheel of Time. Yeah, jump in there tomorrow if you want, 8 p.m. Eastern, and just join in on Twitter. It's a lot of fun. Actually, I've done this. I just informally I did one or two of these. it's fun to just go back and try to find things. I just look for things I didn't notice before and just comment about them. That's a lot of fun. So congratulations, Takaran Riyadh. This is every Tuesday. I forgot to say this the other day. Inside the Wheel of Time with the Dusty Wheel. This is the official after show for Amazon Prime's The Wheel of Time. And so it's a lot of fun on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. We get to dive deep into the previous episode with some guest panelists, including Daniel Green, Ridima, and also Critter. If you don't know them, you should. You should go look them up. And then I've been able to interview members of the cast and talk to, at this point, Marcus Rutherford and also with Zoe Robbins. And so that's every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to go check that out. It's on Amazon Prime Video YouTube. It's not on Prime Video, like where you go watch the show. It's on their YouTube channel. It's easy to find. You just go look up Amazon Prime. So Rebecca, how can people find your channel if they want to go find your commentary that you're doing? Where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I am reading the pattern. So you can just look for me there.
Reading the pattern. Just type it in. I think we have admins here in chat. Please do go follow. Rebecca's awesome. Rebecca's broken down. I don't know how many times you've been visited here. You both have been on
I
the
don't
show.
know. A
You
lot.
both have been on the show 5 to 10 times, something at least. And we've had a lot of fun. I can't wait until we get into season 2 breakdowns. That's happening soon. You know, we're going to do a January episode. It's going to be like, okay, let's
going
go
to
on
happen in
record.
season 2?
Let's go get John from What Up, and we need to get the gang back together and start.
Yeah, because we
breaking
have
down.
done that many times where we're, putting that all together.
We
It's
have to make
go
fun of
back
John again about talking about 2 seasons or 2 books in 1 season. That's not happening. So yes, please.
Well,
do
I don't know.
follow.
Next season, I think it might. So I'm not going to make fun of them for that anymore. So
no, I know that's much more reasonable. So yes, and Matt, also you actually are Malkir's King on Twitter of Time. So if you are not following Malkir's King, you should. And like you mentioned, there is a Wada holiday coming up. And if you just go look up Wada holiday on Twitter, I've called Matt Malkir's Talks before because it's both Malkir's, but Malkir Talks Twitter account. If you go check it out, you can find out more about Wada holiday, which is coming up here soon. And Matt will be during that time. Which time do you have? Do you know?
I have a 6 a.m. Eastern time.
6 a.m. Eastern. If you want to get up at 6 a.m. Eastern, you can learn what our resident warder here thinks about the forms he saw that Lan and Steppin were doing, and just kind of probably breaking down all of the swordmanship that you've seen so far in the show. So love it. So that's some stuff that's coming up. Anything else I missed? Anything else happening out there that everyone here that are before they leave us should know about? Rebecca, Matt, anything else that they should know before we let them go?
go sign up and to come to WotCon next summer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's obviously 2 conventions next year. We have Jordan Con in April. Are there tickets still available at Jordan Con? I can't remember.
I don't think there are.
I think, I want to say the last thing said they might. Yeah,
they might release some more, but I think someone I saw just recently tried to sign up, and there weren't any right now. So.
Okay, so not yet, but I think they mentioned that there may be some coming. So keep a lookout for Jordan Con, which is in April. Jordan Con is a blast, and then WotCon is a new con in July, right?
July.
That? Okay, WotCon is another July, and there are still spaces available for that
There
convention. And so go. Like I said, I'll put the links in the description here. If there's links that our admins have, you can put those in the chat here for both JordanCon and WotCon too. So, okay, that's it, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed almost another 3 hours of breaking down another episode here at the Dusty Wheel. Thank you very much to both my guests, Rebecca. Thank you for jumping in. You got to see the show and still comment on it before you ended.
I got in there.
You got in there. Yeah, it's awesome. And Matt, really appreciate you spending the evening with us and just talking about this. And to all of our callers, just great commentary. Thank you for all the tips. Great comments here. Appreciate everyone being here. And we may do an episode tomorrow at lunchtime. Just be on the lookout. It might be a little happy hour, 45 minutes here at the Dusty Wheel. I know a lot of people weren't able to kind of join in because they didn't see the show yet. So yes, a lot going on, and just keep a lookout. We may do another episode tomorrow. And if we don't, otherwise, be back on Tuesday at Amazon Prime and see the next episode of the after show. So I think I've said everything that you can possibly say tonight. It's time to let you all go and get out of here. Like I said, you can join us on Discord. If you go over on Discord and you sign up, just make sure you remember it is the Hatch Home over in Discord. Mutual Respect is the name of the game there. It is meant to be a place that's welcoming and kind, but there's so many other Discord channels if you want something else. So feel free to jump over on Discord at the Dusty Wheel or any other of the 700 Wheel of Time related Discord channels that are out there. So thank you all for being here, being in chat, and can't wait to do this again in episode 6 with everybody. And that's it. As we say around here, good night from the Dusty Wheel and Smash to Black.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is
really
one
well.
of the biggest scenes.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm not wearing one.
I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shida Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge! Yay!
Pair of like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like
this
all
is
of a
not
sudden,
just
it's like,
a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
And
elements.
just a moment ago, Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guests in here with me, and
probably I would say put in 70-80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is one
really
of the
well.
biggest scenes.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm not wearing one.
I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shida Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge! Yay!
pair of like baby